Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. Today, our plan is to finish up my birthday puzzles, and I actually, depending on how adventurous these Sudoku puzzles that I have for my birthday are, I might get to do a couple Fog of War puzzles, which I know we have been we've had coming for forever. So I am looking forward to that. Well, Tristan said I'm supposed to leave up the splash screen while I'm talking, and that makes it a more thorough experience for the viewer. So I'm trying to honor that by leaving up the splash screen for longer while I talk, so that people can sort of appreciate the splash screen. Is my understanding. I'm not sure if Tristan will feel I left it up too short a time or too long a time, but we're still figuring it out. But anyway, yesterday, if you did not join us, I did do a somewhat impromptu stream of the game Taiji, which is a 2D version of The Witness, basically. It was a very enjoyable stream. So if you have any interest in a puzzle game like The Witness, you can watch me play it. Or you could play it yourself. I think it is well worth playing yourself. It was very enjoyable. It definitely... interesting. Mark has disappeared from my mark button. Sorry. But yes, it was quite enjoyable. So I'd recommend if you were at all interested, you might consider actually playing it yourself. But if you want to watch, I think it was quite fun. There was a lot of people working together to try and understand the Three of Diamonds, etc., etc. Let's see if I reload what happens. Mark has returned to my mark button. All right, so this is... Also, I really like Jay Dyer's suggestion that for the Fog of War stream, we just leave up the splash screen. We might try that. Help people really get into the Fog of War spirit. All right. So, normal Sudoku rules, but we have some given pencil marks. And then we have coloring, but the rules don't mention the coloring. So I'm going to guess the coloring is just there to like help me visually comprehend what's happening, not for any other particular reason. I've really wanted to do a mean mini that's given pencil marks, because I think that would be fun. So I'm noticing we have a lot going on with 1, 2, 8, 9s right out of the gate. So like this is a 1, 2, 8, 9 quad, so I could pencil mark the rest of the box if I wanted to. I feel like usually in pencil mark Sudoku, it's something, that's right, we need a bet tree. Was there a given bet tree for this, Tristan? Let's see, okay, no one has given me a bet tree, so I'm just going to guess that cell is the betting tree. And people can guess. And then if we find out otherwise, we can adjust appropriately. So I'm trying to figure out why the 3-7 is pink. Because like most of the pink cells are 1, 2, 8, 9s, but we don't quite have that. But yeah, I was saying I was looking for something like a Y-wing, which this is not, but something like this. So I'm noticing something like if I knew these two 5-7s were different, then I would know this was a 1. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that these two 5-7s being the same would be broken. If these two 5-7s were the same, they would have to go into this box, but they would have lots of places nominally where they could go into that box. So I don't see a problem with that. Okay, so... oh yes, Tristan makes a good request, which is if you could take a second to like the stream, it would be much appreciated. for these purposes. I'm noticing like these two digits are these two digits. Let's see, is there a button to get rid of the coloring? If hide colors on. Back. Okay. So I am actually going to color things that I know contain 1, 2, 8, 9. So these things I know contain a 1, 2, 8, or 9. And these things I know do not contain a 1, 2, 8, or 9. So yellow contains 1, 2, 8, 9. Purple does not contain 1, 2, 8, 9. That one I know contains a 1, 2, 8, or 9. Let's see. Okay. There are some I know don't. Like that one doesn't, that one doesn't, that one doesn't, and that one doesn't. None of those can contain a 1, 2, 8, or 9. That's interesting. That's not 1, 2, 8, or 9. That's not 1, 2, 8, or 9. So those are purple. Or pink. We'll call it pink. It will make Isabella happy if we call it pink. That's not 1, 2, 8, or 9, so it's pink. That's not 1, 2, 8, or 9, so it's pink. And that helps me. So I feel like it's got to be relevant that this box, the 1, 2, 8, 9s are sort of forced into row 2 and column 8. That seems like the sort of thing that would be relevant, particularly if I combined it with other things. Sarah says that they're a purple expert, so that it is definitely that. Okay, so Carl has a first deduction for us, which is that this cell's not 1 or 2. For the following reason. If this cell was 1 or 2, that would make a 1, 2 pair in this row. That would make these two cells a 1, 2 pair, which would then break that cell. So this is not 1 or 2, so we can at least remove those. We can remove those pencil marks if I turn on the thingy. So these are a 1, 2, and an 8, 9. Let's see. I'm told the same exact thing happens with this. Exactly, yeah. The same exact thing happens with this, where if this was 1, 2, it would again put a 1, 2 pair into this row. So this isn't 1 or 2 either. That gives me a lot of 8, 9s looking at this box. If these two 8, 9s are this... Oh, these two 8, 9s can't be the same. Because if these two 8, 9s were the same, it would rule it out of this. So one of these is going to be 8, 9 blue flash. One of these is going to be 8, 9 black flash. And I'm not at all ruling out that we're going to put O's and X's in here either. But these two are different, and these two are different as well. Oops. So we have a 1, 2 blue flash and a 1, 2 black flash, and an 8, 9 blue flash and an 8, 9 black flash. So, like, sadly, I know I could rule 1, 2 out of this cell, but it doesn't have a 1 or 2 looking at it. This cell I know I could rule 8, 9 out of, but it doesn't have an 8, 9 looking at it. Oh, interesting. Okay, smart point from Jay that I did my flashing in a way that minimized the amount of flashing I could do, because if I do it this way, then I actually can flash this box, which is what everyone hopes for. So I'm still really stuck on the fact that these 4 purples are over here. There's only one more purple in this box. Which is interesting. It's totally possible, by the way, that I'm doing completely the wrong thing, and that this is not at all what is imagined that I will do, but whatever, we're gonna roll with it for a while and see what happens. I'm not sure if I should actually be filling in what the numbers that aren't 1, 2, 8, 9 are, but I don't see anything yet. Yeah, so it's gonna go to one of those places. Let us see. These two 1, 2, 4s next to each other seem fairly loud from a signaling point of view to me, but I don't know what to do with them. I again know that this cell's not an 8 or a 9, which feels like it should tell me something, but I don't think it tells me anything that I can decipher immediately. Okay, so this is either blue, in which case one of these is blue, or it's black, in which case one of these is black. Oh, I'm being encouraged to think about the digit 5. I admit I had not thought about the digit 5. At all. So 5 could go here or in this box anywhere, I believe, in column 1. And 5 can go anywhere over here, not there or there or there. So 5s in columns 1 and 9, which are what Isabella suggested, live in this sort of pattern. I admit the way the grid was laid out suggested to me I was not supposed to be thinking about 5s. Trying to figure out if this pattern does anything. Oh, row 9. Let's see. What does it look like in row 9? Sorry, it was column 1 and row 9. Okay, so column 1 is over there. Row 9. Okay. So 5s in column 1 are in these cells, and 5s in row 9 are in these cells. So either at least one of these two outie cells is a 5, or the 5 is exactly here. Does something immediately break if I put 5 exactly here? Maybe that's going to screw up stuff in this box. Because if this is a 5, then that's a 1. These are a 2, 4 pair. And so this is not 1, 2, 5. So this would be a 6 or a 9. Yeah, so that's like, I think in some weird, I think that's forming some kind of link that I don't know the name of. Okay, so the next question that chat gives me is, where's the 8, 9? Where's the other 8, 9 in each of these places? Because so one of these two has to be an 8 or a 9, and one of these two has to... No, not necessarily, sorry. One of these 4 is an 8 or a 9. That's, I think, the correct statement. Because, again, remember, I know this isn't an 8 or a 9, because it sees both 8, 9s. So there's an 8 or a 9 here, or an 8 or a 9 here. Hey, MicroStudy. And if there's not an 8 or a 9 here, then there's an 8 or a 9 here. So yeah, there's something going on with like 5, 8, 9s in this row. Like, is the point that this cell's always a 5, 8, or a 9? So let's imagine the world where this cell is not a 5, 8, or a 9. What does that do? If this is not a 5, 8, or a 9, then I've got an 8, 9 here. And then I've got a 5 and an 8, 9 over here. Doesn't seem great to me. Maybe the question is, what happens if this is a 9? Because if this is a 9, that rules 9 entirely out of all of these cells. Sorry, not those cells. So if this digit up here, if that's a 9, then it pushes 9 exactly there, right? No, that's not right. Because 9 can't be here. Because I need a 9 along this border. So, because either this isn't a 9 or this isn't a 9. So if this cell up here is a 9, then one of these two is an 8. And whichever one's an 8, let's just say it's that one, it's going to require there to be a 9 down here. And likewise, if this is an 8, it would require there to be a 9 over here. So if this is a 9, it immediately makes this an 8. Sure does. So I don't think I can immediately rule out this being a 9, although it looks... That's definitely the most promising line of questioning that we've looked at so far. Carl and Josh want me to ask if both of these can be 5s. I don't even know why that's a question that I would ever ask. That doesn't seem like a reasonable question with what I know currently. Like, I would believe I'll eventually get there, but I don't think it's as of yet a question. So, okay, I think maybe Carl's question, maybe the way I would ask it is, can this digit be a 5? Because what happens if this digit is a 5? Because if this digit is a 5, what it's going to do is it's going to put a 5 here and a 5 here because of where 5s can go in the columns. So if this digit is a 5, this is Jaleb's way of sort of asking the inverse question, which my brain likes a little bit better, which is, if this is a 5, then 5 goes in these two places. And the question is that a problem? And that would put a 7 here. It might do something bad with 8 9s in this box if these are both 5. Because if these are both 5, right. Okay, so here's the problem. If these are both 5, then I need a blue 8 9 in one of these cells, and I need a black 8 9 in one of these cells, but now this digit can be neither blue nor black. So this digit can't be 5, and I'll say this again, because this is weird. If this digit is 5, then because of how this column and this row are pencil marked, 5s can only go there and there in row 9 and column 1. And so, as a result of that, I now need to ask where the blue 8 9 goes in row 9, and it goes in one of those cells. And where the black 8 9 goes in this column, and it's in one of those cells. And now this cell can't be blue or black. Ugh. That is incredibly distasteful to me. As a deduction. But it is very nice. Let's see. Okay, so we've got now a 1 here. So that gives us a 2-4 pair, which takes 2 out of this. It does make this cell yellow. It makes one of these 2 yellow. Oh, and we do get to bring out Zach. Woo-doo-ba-doo! Woo! Ba-doo-ba-doo-boo! Woohoo! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba! Woohoo! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba! Woohoo! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. I do understand how... I was thinking, like, the choices of digits really don't telegraph this well, but I now actually see how if you make the digits that are obviously significant, 1, 2, 8, and 9, that it does sort of suggest, if you think about the numbers 1 through 9 in a certain sort of way, that maybe the other digit you should think about is the exact center one, which is 5. But I know I would have liked better telegraphing on this, but I'm trying to think about how you could possibly telegraph this better, and I'm not sure that there's an easy way to better telegraph it. So we've got that with our 2-4 pair. So we know there's 2 yellows living in this outside universe, including a 2. No, sorry, not including a 2. No, there's only 1 yellow. Only 1 yellow in this outside universe, because we've got the 1 and the 2 and one of the 8 9s. So this cell is purple. That's the point. Because this cell sees both 8 9s and it sees 1 and 2 in its box. Okay. So I need to cram 3 more yellows into these cells. But I don't have a lot to do with it yet. Wait. Okay. So now let's look at 1 2s in this row and this column. So 1 2 in this row and this column can go in 3 places and in these places. But note the 1 specifically can't go in either of those places. So the 1 specifically is in one of these 2 places. So one of these 2 is a 1. And then whichever of these is a 1... the thing to say is not one of these is a 1. The thing to say is one of these 2 is a 2. And whichever of these 2 is a 2, it pushes the 1 in this box into one of these 2 cells. So let me say that again more carefully. So in row 1, where does the 1 go? Only one of those 2 places. In column 9, where does the 1 go? Only one of those 2 places. But one of blue and black is a 2. Whichever one it is, let's just say it's this one that's the 2, it pushes the 1 here. And if this was the one that was the 2, it would push the 1 here. So one of these 2 has to be a 1, which means this cell isn't a 1, it's a 9. So we get that. And so now we have to go backwards and do that again, I'm going to guess, with these. So, yeah, it's going to give us that cell's an 8. So now where does the 9 go in column 1? And the only places are those. And I know it's not that one, actually. And where does the 9 go in row 9? Only there in one of those. Because of this 9 ruling it out of this and this. This is very clever. And so, what that does... was the coloring a hint? So Tristan told me the coloring had no significance at all. If I'd have left the coloring, was the coloring actually a hint? Because if the coloring was actually a hint, that could be why this was hard to spot, because Tristan had me get rid of it. But I was thinking my own coloring was going to help make this easier. Okay. Okay, so I probably should not have just deleted the coloring. In retrospect, apologies to Wisteria for deleting your beautiful coloring. Sorry, I thought Tristan said it served absolutely no purpose, so I thought it was a distraction. But I may have misunderstood. But the point is, exactly the same setup over here happens over here. So now one of these two is not a 9. Well, I know it didn't have any rule significance, but I originally assumed it was a hint, and then I thought I was told it was not a hint, so then I got rid of it. But so one of these is a 9, so this can't be a 9, so it's always an 8. And so that gives us some marks. Get these. Okay. Excellent, Jonathan. I love wrong Sudoku advice. Hello, lurking tall cat. Okay, I don't know about this cell yet. I know one of these is a 9. I know one of these two is a 2. Let's see. Do I know anything about 8 in this box? Not enough. Yeah, the coloring is not cosmetic if the coloring is part of the break-in. I think cosmetic is not the right word. So this looked very suspicious when I thought that this was in the same row of column of those, but now it doesn't as much. I know one of these two is a 7. Okay, I was looking at the right thing. So this is I think this is actually called a kite, actually. So one of these two is a 2 because of Sudoku. So therefore one of these two is a 7. And therefore this cell can't be a 7. It's always a 3. So none of those are 3. And that makes these a 5-6 pair, which makes that a 4. Which rips through and gets rid of these. You should send this puzzle to Ranksk, by the way. If you ever submit stuff to Ranksk's stream, I think Ranksk would love this puzzle. I say that completely unironically, to be clear. So these are a 1, 2, an 8, and a 7. And a 7. And I know that these aren't... Oh, I don't know that those aren't 1, 2. I just know they're not 1. Oh, okay. And if I know one of these two is a 7, then I know one of these two is a 2. Does knowing one of those two is a 2 do me something that I'm missing? So what does knowing that one of these two digits that I have selected is a 2 tell me? I don't see it yet. Let's see. Why do we know? So DWeb asks, why do I know that one of these two is a 7? And the reason is because this is a 2-4 pair in this box. Sorry. It was one of these we knew was a 7. Oh, so what I actually know is one of these is a 5. Sorry, I think I said it backwards. I think I said the wrong thing. I think I said I know one of these is a 7. Which I actually do, but for a completely different reason. I know one of them's a 5 because I proved one of these two is a 7. So these, in fact, are a 5-7 pair, I realize now, because if they were both 7, it would rule that out of this. So these are two different digits. So these are a pair. I could mark if I wanted. Yeah, sadly, I did not look at the Setter's Discord post. I only looked at the Setter's just no, they can't. We've proven they're not both 5s, and we've proven they're not both 7s. Wait, no, maybe they could both be 5. Did we just prove they're not both 7s twice? I think we just found 2 completely different proofs that they're not both 7s. Right. I think that's exactly what we did. We found 2 different proofs that they're not both 7. Is what in fact happened. Okay, so unfortunately 2 different proofs that they're not both 7 doesn't quite get us there. This is like when you're trying to prove an if and only if, and you prove the statement, and then you prove the contrapositive, and then you feel like you're done, but actually you've just proved the same thing twice. This is exactly like that. So let's see what else is happening. Yeah, I know like one of this giant string is a 9, but I don't think I can do a lot with that. Do I know whether this cell is a 5 yet? Because I had to muck around with 5s in this row and this column, and I don't think I know. I know these aren't both 5. That was what I proved. But do I know one of them is 5, or do I know... Could neither of them be 5? Would that do anything? I don't know. Isabella says these aren't both 5s, but I don't understand why. Isabella says it would break box 3. Why would it break box 3 if they were both 5s? The 5's going in the corner of box 3 either way. Oh, it's because of the forced 5s in the row and column, right. If both of these are 5, it forces both of these to be 5, because otherwise I can't put a 5 in row 9, or sorry, in row 1 and column 9. Okay, got it, okay. So these really are a 5-7 pair. No clue if that's going to be useful or not. It might or might not be useful, but we have that. But yes, nice spot, Isabella, there. So what else should I be looking at? So these aren't both 2 and they're not both 7. So these 2 cells are a 2-7 pair for whatever that's worth. Jaleb is saying I can remove 7s from a whole heap of places, but I don't think I yet understand exactly what's happening. So I know the 7 in row 2 is in one of these places, and I know the 7 in column 8 is in one of these places. I know that. But I don't think that's the thing that Jaleb is seeing. Oh, right. Okay, I see it now. I understand it. So here's the point. One of the... So that's cute. I like that a lot. So the point is, these are a 5-7 pair, and these are a 2-7 pair. So I need to fit 2 7s into these cells. And if I need to fit 2 7s into these cells, and I'm only allowed to put 1 in each pair, that means that the 7 in these boxes is forced into these. Love that. That's really great. And great spotting to Jaleb there. And so what that does is it removes 7 as a candidate from all of these cells. Got it. So we've got that, which is starting to give us an almost like thing that wants to be a quadruple or something. Oh, and it has given us a thing that is actually a triple over here. MicroStudy points out, because that 369 looks at this cell, making that a 7 or an 8. Oh no, sorry, 3, 6, and 9 could be purple or yellow. So if this is not 3, 6, or 9, what can it be? Oh, sorry, I should not ask that. I should instead just write 5 into this cell. Because it looks up to there. So that's a 6, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 9, which makes that a 7, which makes that an 8. Woo, boy, that was a lot all at once. Okay, so this is a 1 or a 2, and so it's definitely yellow. And it's yellow-blue. Good, good. So we've got that. That's yellow. That's yellow. These are both purple. That's not an 8, that's not a 9, that's not a 3, that's not a 9, that's not a 7. Okay, so this is purple, because 5 and 7 are both purple. So we've got all of that. Okay, the fact that I know that this is the blue one, too, seems like the sort of thing that should be relevant. I don't know that it is yet. I'm being told I can fill in this digit. That's probably a good idea. This digit is a 5, so that's a 7. So that's a 2. And we know that since that's a 7, we know that's a 5. And since that's a 2, we know that's a 7 through our earlier weird logic. So this is purple and yellow, and this is purple and yellow. So this is a 4 and a 2. That's a 6, so it's purple. This is not a 6. Okay. So these aren't 7, and therefore they're yellow, and therefore this is 7 and is purple, is Tristan's point. So one of these two cells is an 8, and so therefore where does 8 go in box 1? Only here, is further Tristan's point. And so therefore where does 8 go in box 4? Only here. So therefore 8 is blue, so we can blue all of these. And therefore 9 is black, so we can blacken these. We can even do that. And when we do that, we can also remember that now we know that 9 is black, so 9 doesn't go there. Okay, and that, oh, and 9 is black, so I should fill in 9 to the last cell that was labeled as black. And now that should help, because we don't have to think about numbers anymore. That was getting confusing. Okay. So, okay, so now this cell is purple because it sees every yellow digit. Good. Okay, so... Oh, I'm so close to being able to say where the 4 yellow digits go in this row. I only need to find one more digit in this row that's definitely purple, and I'll know where they all are. Yeah, I know one of these two is a 9, so I know one of these two is a 9. I don't really want to pencil mark that. Let's see. 7 in this box, not quite. Okay, so Garion has a good point that by Sudoku I need to put a 3 in this box, and that 3 can only go here, which makes that a 6. These aren't 3. So this cell... Oh no, this cell still has lots of options. One of these two is a 3. I could do the same with 7 in column 9, Tristan says people have been saying. 7 in column 9 can only go here. Which now makes this cell yellow, because I need 4 yellows in the column, and exactly one of those is yellow. So this cell's definitely yellow. So 7 in this box is almost, but not quite interesting. Okay, right. So Liam's point is I now know where the 5 goes if I look carefully at row 9 in column 1. So where does the 5 go in this column? Only in one of these cells. Where does the 5 go in this row? Only in one of these cells. And that's because of these 2 5s that we placed. And the only way to make that happen is to put a 5 here, which makes this the last yellow for the box, and it's yellow-black for the record, and makes this purple, and so makes that a 7 and a 9, I guess. And this should be a 6. And now this has become a 3, so it's purple and yellow. And this is a yellow-black. So these are all 6s. That's a 7. Where does 9 go in this column? It can only go here by coloring. And so, therefore, this cell is purple. Or it could have done it the other way. This cell was purple because it saw every yellow digit, and then that made this cell yellow, whatever that was. Yeah, this is a very cool setup. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are a 4, 6 pair. Because those are a 4, 6 pair, this digit's a 5. And this digit's not a 4. Also, this digit's definitely yellow. I don't know why I didn't mark that sooner. So this is a purple digit that's not 4, 5, 6, or 7. So the only such purple digit is 3. Let's see if we can Sudoku any 3s into place. Maybe not. I was optimistic that we could, but it seems to have been a fool's errand. This can only be 4 or 5. I don't know which one it is. This one's not a 7. So now that's a 1, 2, 4 triple. So therefore, this is the other thing. This is the 8. Or I should say this is the blue for the row, or one of the blues for the row, because of that. This is, if I look at it, it's not an 8 or a 9 or a 1, so this is a 2. And that finally resolves the blueness of 1, 2. So 1 is blue, 2 is black. So 1 is blue, 2 is black. Okay, this is a blue 8, because I've already got both blacks for the column. This is black, of course, because I've got both blues for the box. So these are 1, 8. These are 2, 9. Good. This 2 is also black. One of these 2 is black, but I don't think I know which one just yet. This one's not a 2. I know that much. One of these 2 is a 2. I know that much. Let's see. 1 in box 9, says chat. 1 in box 9 can actually only go here because of that one and this one looking into it. So this is a 1. Making that blue. Making these a 2, 4 pair. Which I think now gives me this digit, because this digit is not 1, 2, 8, 9 because it's purple. And it's not 3, 4, 6, or 7. So this digit is a naked 5, I believe. Now. So the only purple digit left to place in this row is a 4, and it can't go in the box with a 2, 4 pair, so the 4 goes here. That gives me my last purple for this box, which makes that yellow. That is a black 9, if I look at it carefully. So this digit is yellow, because I need another yellow for the row. In fact, I need a blue yellow for the for the row. And if I look closely, I've already got the blue, yellow 8. So this is the blue, yellow 1. So I know there's a 1 in one of these two cells, but I don't think I know which one yet. I know there's a 2 in one of these two. I know there's an 8 in one of these two. I know there's a 1 in one of these two. Okay, so maybe I'm looking for a cell that sees all the purples. So 3, 4, 5, 6 is the purple that's not present here. So does this cell see every purple? I think this cell sees every purple. So it sees 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so this cell sees every purple, so it's yellow is the point. And so therefore this cell is purple. And so this is a 1 or a 2, but it's not a 2, so it's a 1. And that's the 2. And this is the 7. And so that gets me the 8 and the 1. This is now purple by the column, because I've got every yellow in the column. And so which purple is it? 3, 4, 5. This is the purple 6. I was looking for that earlier, I think, but I no longer remember what I wanted out of it. These are a 1, 4 pair, but I don't think there's anything I can do with that at the moment. This sees every purple except for 1, because it sees 4, 5... Sorry, it sees 3, 4, 5, and 7, so this is a 6, which makes that a 4 and a 6. So now I still need a 3 in this column, and I still don't know where it goes. But I need a 2 in this column, and I do know where that goes now. This is the 2 for the column. So that means this cell is purple. And probably I know which purple it is. It's the purple 3 by the column. I'm a little afraid how mark is going to work with the already pencil marked cells, but it looks like mark works fine. Okay, good. I should have had more faith in mark. Of course mark works with pencil marks. Why would mark not work with pencil marks? So that's a 5. This is a 4, meaning it's purple. This is an 8, meaning it's yellow-blue. This is a 5 and a 6. If I look up here, I have to be a little bit careful now as I look through this. So there's one more purple in this row, and it's a 4 or a 6. Right. I know the 3 in this column goes here, so therefore that's a 4, and that's a 6. Got it. Okay. So therefore this is yellow-blue, and this is purple. And therefore now that's the last yellow for this row, so those are both purple. So these both need to be yellow. If I carefully inspect, this is yellow-black, so therefore this is yellow-blue. So that's going to give me a 9, a 2, a 9, a 1, a 3, a 5, a 1, and a 4, and a 4 and a 3. And so now we can make our way down here. This cell is going to be purple, and this cell is going to be purple, and this cell is going to be yellow. And we can have an exciting preview. The bet tree is going to work out to be yellow. So this is 3, 7, 4, 2, and I have to be careful. What color is 2? 2 is blue, so that lets me know that the bet tree is black. No, 2's not blue, sorry, 2 is black. 2 is black. So that lets me know that the bet tree is blue, and the bet tree is an 8. Woohoo! Very nice puzzle. I wish I'd not deleted the coloring at the beginning. But very cool. And once getting through the very complicated sort of very first step, everything was very smooth after that. very, very, very neat. Alrighty. Is Ranks even here? Or does Ranks just always bet 8, so therefore he gets credit for winning even when he's not here? Alrighty, so one more birthday puzzle to go. I am going to take a quick break, and I will be right back with our last puzzle, so don't go anywhere. Not our last puzzle for the day, to be clear, just the last birthday puzzle. Which, given that my birthday was getting close to a month ago now, it makes sense. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. I'm going to turn off the outside clues for this, if I can find it. There we go. Sorry, I'm not turning off the outside clues. I'm turning off the row column numbers. There we go. Probably better to have the clues in the grid than the row column numbers. All right. So this is by the Cogito, called 39 Factorial. So outside clues here are X sums. So if you've not seen how an X sum works, I probably will, Kajito. Do you have a bet tree? I don't know. There's enough clues in the grid. I think it's probably unique without the outside clues, but I think probably we'll follow the setter's intended solve path if we better if we use them anyway. So the way an X sum works is that you look at the digit in here, and it tells you how many digits to look at. So the digit immediately in front of the clue tells you how many. And so in this case, if this is a 2, it would say, look at these 2 cells, and it gives you the sum of those 2. Hey, Karen, welcome. So in this case, this digit would be a 7 if that was a 2. But also this could be a 3, in which case it would be telling you to look at these 3 cells. And it would be saying the sum of these 3 cells is 9, so this could be 1 and 5, for example. Alrighty, so we get that. And so those are the rules. So the only way to make a 3 is with a 2 and a 1, but we get to have a 2 dance right away, which I feel like Zach has not done a good old-fashioned 2 dance in a while. Woohoo! Woohoo! Thank you, Zach. 2 likes to be in bet cells. 2 doesn't like to be in the first digit entered, is I believe what our statistics are telling us. Okay, so now this has to be a 3, because I can make 9 and at most 3. And I think this can be a 6, 7, or 8, I think. If I'm making this with a 3, I'm going at most 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, I'm not using a second 3. I'm not using a 1 there. Same deal over here. That's a 2 and a 1. This is a 2 and a 1. This is a 2 and a 1 for the 3s. So if that's a 4 or a 5, this cell here can't be a 4 or 5. It can only be a 2, because I can't include 2 4 5s in a 3-cell 9 sum. They already summed to 9. And then I get a good old-fashioned solve for x. This is a 4. Now, interestingly, I now know what this digit is, because let's just imagine the world where this is a 6. That's saying these 6 cells sum to 39. Because the whole row sums to 45, that's saying these 3 cells sum to 6. So they'd have to be 1, 2, 3, but they can't be because of this 2. So this isn't a 6. Well, what if it was a 7? Well, that would be saying these 2 cells now sum to 6, but they can't because I'd need either a 1, 5 or a 2, 4. So the only way this can work is if that's an 8, which then makes this a 6, because I now need this 1 cell to sum to 6, and I don't even need a killer calculator to know how to do 6 in 1 cell. So this now isn't a 6. It also wasn't a 6 because of that 1 there, in retrospect. Likewise, I know all of these 9s are 9 and 3, for whatever that is worth. This digit is again a 4 or a 5, and so this digit can only be a 1 or a 2, but it can't be a 1, so it's a 2 and a 4. Same exact story as before. So what about... well, I know this is a 7 or an 8. I know this is a 7 or an 8. No, actually, this one I know is an 8. This one I know is an 8 for a similar reason. It can't be a 6 because these would have to be 1, 2, 3, and there's a 2 here in the box. It can't be a 7 because these 2 would have to add to 6, but they can't because the 1 and the 2 in the box are gone, and the only ways to make 6 and 2 are 1, 5, and 2, 4. So that's an 8, and that's a 6, in order to make that possibly work. So now... So, yeah, so this can only be a 7 if this is 2-4. I would have to go 4-2 in exactly that order. Oh, yeah, okay, and now this clue works out, 57 points out now. We actually know this one now, because the 1 and the 2 here are gone. So again, this can't be 1, 2, 3, and these can't be 1, 5, or 2, 4. So the only way this works out if that's an 8 and that's a 6. So we've got that one all sorted out. I could just place a 1 here by Sudoku as counter to the stream as that is. Let's see. So 1 in this box I can place here. So 1 in this box I know is in one of these two places. Let's see if I can do any more Sudoku magic. Maybe not yet. Let's see. Is there any place I can place a 6? I know there's a 6 in one of those 2 and one of those 3. None of that seems quite right. Oh, I never actually filled in this. That would probably have been smart. So these I know are from 1, 2, 4, 5. That one's not a 1. Alrighty. So what was I doing? Oh, that's right. I was trying to understand what's happening with this and trying to understand if this could be 4-2 or not, which it probably can be. I know there's a 2 in one of these two cells, but I'm not marking that because it's very dangerous. 3 in box 8, Carl points out, is placed there. So 3 in this box is over in one of these two cells. 4 is now placed in box 8. So now I've got just all of these things sort of set up. This is just a triple, actually. Let's fill in my triple. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not 6, sorry, 5, 7, 9. That was not as helpful as I had fantasized. Oh, I apparently never actually marked this clue. That would have been helpful. So that's not a 1. This is not a 2 or a 4. Well, that one's certainly not a 5, because if this was a 5, this would need to be a 1, and it can't be. So that's a 1. And so solve for x, this is a 5. So no 5 there. No 1 or 5 there. So this is a 2 or a 4. And if that's a 2 or a 4, so is this, because I need these to add to 6. And no matter whether this is 2 or 4, this one needs to be the other one. Okay, and so... yeah, I still don't actually know what's going on over here. I don't think yet. Let's see. 5, though, is placed here in this box, if I just sort of follow the 5 over here. So that's not a 5. These are a triple of 7, 8, 9. That one's not the 8. So these are a triple of 2, 3, 4, 6. So that's not the 6. That's not the 2. This is the 6. Okay, so that's the 4 and the 2. And now I actually know my outies sum to 6 in 2, and so therefore I know this is a 7, a 9, and an 8. And that has become a 4 and a 2. I can probably mark now, actually. So I see that this is a 4, 7, 9 triple, and so therefore that's a 5 and that's a 3. I may have regretted it when I hit mark and saw what happened, but I'll never admit it. So these aren't 5. That's a 6, 7, 9 triple, so that's a 1. That's a 7, 9 pair, so that's a 6. So that's a 7. So that's a 5. So that's a 9. So that's a 7 and a 9 and a 7 and an 8 and a 5 and a 1 and a 9. I think it will remove the red digits if I hit mark again. Let's just try it. Yes, it will remove the red digits if I hit mark again. 3, 4, 7, 6, 5, 3, 4, 9, 5, 7, 9, 8, 7, 4, 9, 7, 5, 9, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 8, 3, 4, and our bet tree is a 2. Congratulations to all of you 2-betters out there, although I feel like you 2-betters are quite spoiled on stream lately. But may all your betting tree wishes come true. I think 2 is by far the most common bet tree lately. Yeah, this is a very smooth solve, and what an impressive grid, too, because if you look at the blank grid, because it was my 39th birthday, and you could just see the 3939, 3939 just around the grid with a 9. Very, very nice birthday puzzle. Alrighty, so I am going to... oh, wow, you got both! Very nice. Alright, so I am going to crack into the Fog of War puzzles when we return. So there is this setting challenge some time ago that got sort of lost amongst the shuffle, but we're going to do them all, and we have a lot of submissions, so we're going to be doing Fog of War puzzles for a while. But the challenge was to set a Fog of War puzzle, so I'm going to do some Fog of War puzzles. I know there's some awesome stuff in there. I think literally the first of these puzzles was featured on Cracking the Cryptic 2 months ago at this point. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you all all made. So we're going to crack into that right after this. So I will be back in just a moment. Alrighty, welcome back. Alrighty, so MicroStudy asked what the setting challenge was before the Fog of War one. Was it the coloring one before that, or was there one between coloring? Oh no, it was the pencil puzzle challenge. There is the I think it went no 5s, coloring, pencil puzzles, Fog of War, I think. Yeah, the pencil puzzle ones, those were great. There were so many cool ones in there. Alrighty, so next up we have Fogrotto by famed rap artist Math Pesto. At least according to MicroStudy. Don't Google it. And so Math Pesto submitted 2 versions of this puzzle. So they made an easy version of the puzzle, and then that version got done by Simon. So they decided to make a hard version too, and they let me choose which one I wanted. And for whatever reason, I've chosen the hard one. So heaven help me. But we'll try and make it through this this challenging Math Pesto puzzle. Alrighty. Chaos Construction, Fog of War. I have a sudden message on Discord. I'm hoping the message isn't Math Pesto telling me that this puzzle isn't actually solvable. One moment. Let me check real quick and just make sure it's nothing urgent. Alrighty, no, we're good. When I get a message on Discord, the second I start a puzzle, I always fear that it is related to that. Oh, why am I suddenly... Oh, it's because I switched to Penpa mode by accident. We won't talk about why that happened. I mean, I have no idea why that happened. All right, so let us read the rules. So we have the Fog of War rule. So if you've not yet seen how Fog of War works, what it does is it covers the entire grid in this sort of gray, except for lit cells. So there are clues out here, I just can't see them. But whenever you enter a correct digit into the grid, it reveals all of the fog nearby. So we have that as a thing. And so we also have a cave puzzle. So we have every cell is either shaded or unshaded. And additionally, the shaded cells all have to make it to the wall, assuming this is a normal cave. And also there's a no 2x2 rule, which normally is not in cave, but this cave has a no 2x2 rule. And we're not allowed to have a 2x2 either fully floor or fully wall. I think I'm going to make wall purple and floor yellow, probably. It says walls obstruct vision, but I don't know what that means yet. A cage contains no repeated digits, and the value of the cave cells sums to the given total. So there are either... So the cave cells, and cave cells means floor. So I try to avoid the rule specifically about, or I try and avoid the word cave, because the word cave confuses me, because it feels like both the wall and the floor are cave. So I call it floor and wall when I'm coherent about it. But the thing that these rules are calling cave is the floor. So this is saying the floor cells sum to at most 2. Okay, I'm told I skipped a circle somewhere. Oh, white circles are cave cells, and the value in a circle is the number of... Okay, is the number of cave cells seen in that row and column, including itself. Okay, sorry, so not that one. Sorry, so these are all floor, is what this is saying. Okay, and so... Okay, so this is going to be a 2 is the point, because this is the number of seen cells, and the number of seen cells I'm contending has to be a 2, because otherwise this would see no cells. All of these would be wall, and the floor cells would not be connected, because the floor cells need to be connected. That's a rule of cave. So this digit's going to be a 2, but I'm not finished reading the rules yet, so I'm not going to fill it in. But we get another first digit 2, I believe. A killer cage contains no repeated digits, and the value of the cave cells sum to the given total. Okay, yeah, we got that. Sorry, the floor, yeah. Wall cells don't count towards the sum. Note, a cage's clue doesn't necessarily appear in the uppermost or leftmost cell. Sure. And then we have doublers. Oh no, maybe this is going to be a 1 or a 2 because of doublers. A doubler appears exactly once in every row and column and 3x3 box. For purposes of circles and cage sums, such cells' digits are doubled in value. Okay, so each digit is doubled once. So I don't, in fact, know if this is a 1 or a 2, because it could be doubled. But regardless of whether it's a doubled 1 or a 2, its value is 2, and therefore these two cells must be wall, because I can't include another digit without getting over 2. Alrighty. Some of the rules are covered. Oh yeah, I can shrink myself. Sorry, I make myself bigger or smaller based on the rule set. Okay, so these are both wall. I can't... Oh, I could get to greater than or equal to 32 if I doubled one of these cells. This less than or equal to 3 means that these can't both be yellow. So these two are... I'm going to put a gray line here to indicate I know that these are a yellow-purple pair. And so these are a yellow-purple pair. Is there some way that this is going to break through checkerboarding? How on earth am I going to mark that things are not doublers? Probably I'm going to have to X them. Oh, there has to be a doubler in here. Without a doubler, this just can't get to enough. I'm just being silly. 9876 is only 30. So there has to be a doubler in here. It probably isn't in one of those, but maybe it is. But the doubler in here, but there's a doubler in here, so therefore this cell can't be doubled. So my original claim that this is a 2 is now justified. This is a 2. And I can go ahead and I can mark, I know these aren't doubled. I'll use X for not doubled. Right, and Carl points out actually another thing I should have noted. There's a no 2x2 rule. And so because of the no 2x2 rule, I know one of these is actually purple. And these can't both be purple. So actually these are also a yellow-purple pair. So these are a yellow-purple pair. These are a yellow-purple pair. If this is purple, I feel like these two digits are way too small. But let's check. If this is purple, the absolute maximum these can be is 3. And so I think these would be at most, these would sum to at most 5. And then I would need to make these, I would need to make the one cell here sum to 27. That doesn't work. So, oh, we need to bring out Zach. Sorry, Zach, you get to do your true dance again. Ba-doop-ba-doop. Boo, 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 do, 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 do. Woohoo! Ba-da-ba-da. Woohoo! I guess Zach has to be prepared to do a dance early in a lot of these puzzles. So this can't be purple, I think is the point. If this was purple, I think these two would sum to at most 5, and I would need to be doubling like a 15 up here or something. So I think that's got to be yellow, and therefore that's purple. If I do that. Now, the yellow cells are all connected, so this cell's definitely yellow, even if it is still hidden behind the fog. And now, because this needs to sum to less than or equal to 3, this needs to be purple. And so now this needs to not be doubled too, because if I doubled it, I'd be already more than 3, and so this has to be a 1 and a 2 going on in there. So we've got that. Okay, now there's a no checkerboard rule. So let me explain the no checkerboard rule real quick. The problem is what happens if this is yellow. If this is yellow, then these two yellows need to connect. And so they'll connect around some way, some ridiculous way that looks like this. But the problem with that is that it makes this purple unable to get to the wall. So actually, I can't have a checkerboard anywhere in the grid, or as Russ likes to call it, I can't have a Battenberg anywhere in the grid. So this cell must instead be the purple one. This one's the yellow one. These we can go all crisscross with. This one I know isn't doubled either. Okay. So we've got that. I know exactly one of these is yellow, for whatever that is worth, because of the 2. Oh, all circles are yellow. Forgot that rule already. All circles are yellow, and therefore this 2 tells me that that's purple and that's purple, because otherwise it sees too many cells. This digit's already at least 5, for whatever it's worth. Let's see. I mean, this one's at least 3, for whatever that's worth. Okay. Circles in row 8 must be different numbers. Ah, okay, right. So, that is a great spot from Dog. So Dog's point is actually that I know both of these are yellow. And let me explain how Dog knows that. If that was purple, Dog's point is these 2 yellow numbers would both just be the number of yellow cells in this string. And if that was yellow and that was purple, it would be the same. This circle would be the same as that one. Oops. So in fact, actually, at least these many need to be yellow, at which point my no checkerboard tells me that one's also yellow. At which point I already am, oh, no, sorry. Unfortunately, we have doublers, so that logic doesn't work, because they can be the same. Well, it was a beautiful deduction that unfortunately doesn't work because of doublers. Because it could be the same value. Yeah. I don't know who to blame for that, but it was a really cool deduction. Very pretty. Let's see. See, Isabella would really like me to calculate what's going on with this. I really don't want to do this math, but I guess I have to. So 8 plus 9 is 17. 32 minus 17 is 15. So my doubled digit... So if I did a doubled 7, that wouldn't be enough. Oh, awesome! Enjoy Tallcat and Woofer and Mormogli. That should be fun. Share pictures. Okay. So the point is, I need to double a number that's at least 7, because even if I make these a 9 and an 8, then I still need to double at least an 8. So the doubler is not in either of these cells, is the point that Isabella would like me to see. And so this cell definitely is a doubler, which I'm going to denote by drawing around it in an ostentatious red color, like that. Okay. So therefore, that's going to give me lots of other things that aren't doublers. Oops, not doubler, 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 not doubler. Okay, so if this was purple, these would be a 5 and a 6. That would total to 11, and I would need to double some fractional number in order for that to work, because it's just not going to. So, because 32 minus 11 is 21, I need to double a 10.5. That's not going to work. So at least this is yellow. Now, if this cell is purple, these cells are a 6 and a 7. Wait. Oh, it's greater than, right. It's greater than, sorry. I was like, there's no way that this is summing to an even number. Because these two sum to an odd number, and that's doubled. But yeah, these are summing to 33 or more. Okay, what about here? So here, if this was purple, these would be 6 and 7 is 13. I would need to double a 10. That's still not going to work. Here, we're at 7 and 8, which is 15. And I'm going to need to double 33 minus 16 is 18. I can double a 9. Okay. So I need to make it at least that far in order for this to work. And I think we're getting close to the point where this is going to have to be doubled. Because if this wants to not be doubled, it's going to have to go up at least that far. Which is going to make this a 9 already. Yeah, we're 1 away from being able to just say that this has to be doubled. It probably does. It's being claimed the doubler has to be a 9. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so Garion says if I just look at what happens if this yellow goes 1 further, now these are an 8-9 pair, and then it doesn't work because an 8-9 pair sums to 17. This would have to be at most double 7, but 17 plus 14 is only 31. So beautiful spot from Garion. In fact, this ends here. These are an 8 and a 9. Sorry. These are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are a 7 and an 8. And so because those are a 7 and an 8, and I need to get greater than or equal to that, I need to double a 9. Okay. And so now this is getting a value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's getting a value of 7. So this cell's always yellow because even if this is a doubler, it needs to get it to an even value. So this cell here is either a 4 or a 9. This is always purple because of, 4 or 9. This cell's always purple because of the avoid a 2x2 rule. So we've got that. Yeah, so if this is a 9, that cell's yellow. Oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Oh, maybe it could be like a doubled 19 or something. It might actually, people are right in chat, it could end up being like a doubled 8 or something. Because it could see like all of these cells for all we know. Who knows? That's a good point. I was thinking somehow the value had to be at most 9, but the value definitely doesn't have to be at most 9. I'm noticing here that if this extends 1 more, it actually extends 2 more because of the thing. Oh, there is a 13 cage here, which contains these digits already. Okay, so this, and this actually can't be a 9. For the reason I just said, I think. Because if this was a 9, I would need this to be yellow and this to be purple, which doesn't work. So this is not a 9. This cell has to be doubled, regardless. And so, so this cell is definitely doubled, is the point. And so that lets us X all of this stuff. Okay, got all of that going on up there. Okay, and so these two digits need to sum to at least 4. And so this value needs to be at most 9, but it's even. So it's actually at most 8. So I think I do know that this is a 4. Because I need to include 2 more yellow cells in this cage. Okay, and so these two digits need to add to at most 5, which means one of them is definitely a 1, so that one's a 1. And now these currently sum to 9, so this digit needs to be at most 4, but it's not a 1, 2, or 4, so this digit's a 3. Oh, and I know that this cell is purple because of the fact that this is an 8. And so I know this is a purple because I have to avoid the checkerboarding. I know that this is yellow because I have to preserve connectivity. Okay. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one immediately can't be a 9 because it's in a less than or equal to 8 cage. In fact, these two are both in a less than or equal to 8 cage, and that one's at least a 5, so this one's at most a 3. So this is a 2 or a 3. I can't possibly let this cell be yellow, because if this cell is yellow, it's in the 8 cage, and the 8 cage now, because of this 1, sums to a minimum of 10. So this is purple. Yellow still has to get out, though. Let's see. These digits I know sum to a minimum of 5. So this one's at least 3. No, they're both at least 3, aren't they? Right. This one's already at least 3. If this is a 2... Yeah, if this is a 2... then my cave ends here and surrounds all of this. So this can't be a 2, and this can't be a 2. So these are each at least 3. And so that means these already sum to, as Carl says, at least 7. And a yellow... Oh, no, sorry, there's not a circle here. So if this is yellow, it's a 1. But that does mean that these are from 3... Oh, it means their values are from 3, 4, 5... Oh, but neither of them can be 2, so neither of them therefore can be doubled, because double 3 is already a 6, plus 3 is already too big. So neither of these can be doubled. I would overflow my sum of 8, and therefore they are from 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, no, this cage includes this cell. Sorry, there's a yellow over here. I had missed that. So this yellow is a 1. And these are a 3-4 pair. The 1's not doubled. And this has to be purple now. Or pink, if you prefer. This cell has to be pink because I'm already at 8. And so this cell is pink as well. This cell's now yellow because of the avoid a 2x2. And that yellow has to get out. So both of these are yellow. By the way, I really like the theming of being in a cave is very nice for this. I probably, if I think about the geometry, know which of these is a 3 and which of these is a 4, don't I? Maybe not, actually. Maybe I'm not sure yet. I know one of these is a doubler. Let's see. Oh, yes, right. As MicroStudy says, it's time to remind Zeta that circles are yellow. So let us remind Zeta that circles are yellow. This circle's already at least a 4, but it could be doubled. Oh, this 28 cage is very interesting. So I can't double a 9. So... even if I could double a 9, it wouldn't matter. I need all of these to be yellow, is chat's point, because the most I could make with only 2 cells is double 8 plus 7, and double 8 plus 7 is only 23. So those are yellow, which means that this is purple by magic. If this cell is yellow now, it breaks these by a lot. Because now if this cell's yellow, now these each see at least 6. That's too many, so that's a purple. So the yellow has to get out. Now I actually know that this is a 3, and this is a 4. This is a 2-cell 18 cage, so both of them need to be yellow, because I can't double a 9 anymore. I've already doubled. I broke it. That wasn't right. What did I say that was wrong? Box 9 is broken? Color box 9. Okay, I think we're good. So this is also yellow. By the avoid a Battenberg rule of law. This 4 currently only sees 3, so this is yellow and that's purple in order to make that work. Okay. Right. If this cell was purple, this cell would be purple too. So this cell is yellow. And so that yellow has to get out. So these are yellow. That is Ron and Jim's point. So we've got that going on. This circle already sees this already sees 7, but again, remember this could involve a doubler. This cell has to be a doubler because I'm not getting to 18 without using a doubler, and that one's not a doubler. So this automatically is a doubler. And so these are not doublers. Sorry, betting tree. Oh, and in the row as well. Oops. I thought we already had the box 9 cage marked correctly, Jay, but maybe not. Right. This cell is purple by the no 2x2 rule, is Carl's point. And so because of that, we actually now know that this sees 7 cells. And if you see 7 cells, you can't be a doubler because you can't be a doubled 3.5. Unfortunately. Okay. So 7 and 9 is 16. This would still need to be a 12. So this cell is doubled because if it's not, we run into problems. So we can X off the rest of these cells. Okay, so I know where the doubler is down here now, because now this is the only cell that can be doubled down here. This cell has to be odd, because the total of the box is even, and this digit's odd, and the doubler's odd. So this digit, let's think about what it can be. Double 8 is the most this cell can be, so that's 16. So these need to sum to at least 12. So this cell can only be a 5 or a 9, is my conclusion from that math. Let's see. I probably should be fully good-lifting all my doublers. So none of them are 4 and 9, because I remember one of the rules of Doubler Club is you can't repeat doublers. So we should keep that. Oh, I can X the rest of column 9. That's a good point. I can X the rest of column 9. Let's see. Oh, I can avoid a 2x2 here. That's what Isabella was saying. Let's see. Avoid a checkerboard here. Ah, yes, this can be X'd. I was like, why can I X that, Jim? But it's because there's one in the row and I just never noticed. Okay. So I've got all this floor happening over here. Taiji was great. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was a very well-made homage to The Witness. I think I'm about halfway done. Okay, Carl points out I should do some math on this. The maximum these two sum to is 16, so the minimum of this cell is 12. So this can't be a 1, 2, or a 5. It's only a 6 or 8, is Carl's point. Okay. This cell that's doubled also has to be huge. Because the maximum this can be is 9. Actually, the maximum this can be is 8. Because again, this has to be even. So, because the total is even. So this cell's always even. But the maximum this cell can sum to is 16. So this is always at least a 2. So this is 2, 6, or 8. And then I could do the math of what goes with it. What would go with an 8? What would go with an 8 is a doubled 1. What would go with a 6 is a doubled 3. And what would go with a 2 is a doubled 8. So I think that means we can get rid of 3, 6, and 7. Let's just double check that. Doubled 2... Sorry, no, not doubled 2. Single 2 goes with doubled 8. Single 2 goes with doubled 8. Single 6 goes with doubled 6. Wait. Single 2 goes with doubled 8. Single 6 goes with doubled 6. So I just can't put a 6 in either of these places. Single 8 goes with doubled 5. Okay. So singled 8 goes with doubled 5. Singled 2 goes with doubled 8. So let's double check this. So I think we have doubled 5 and 8, or doubled 8 and 2, I think are my only options, after careful examination. So one of these two cells is always an 8, for purposes of people who love to pencil mark, that sort of thing. Let's see. All right. So, does this being a 5 make 2 8 doublers? If this is a 5, yes. If this is a 5, I get 2 8 doublers immediately. Because if this is a 5, that's an 8 by math, and if this is a 5, that's an 8 by Sudoku. So therefore, that's a 9. And if that's a 9, that tells me that this is a 6 over there. And as soon as that's a 6, I get to remove 6 from that cell and that cell. Now, this needs to total at most 11. And it's already got at least 3 cells in it. If this is yellow, that's 4 yellow cells. The only way it can be less than or equal to 11 is for these to be very, very low. But I don't think I can rule that out yet. At least not until I write in what is in this row, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I know this one's not an 8, because one of those two is an 8. That's not an 8, that's not a 1. Sure. Oh, right. No, this one's doubled. That's the thing I'm missing. This one's doubled. Totally forgot that. So this is doubled. So this is already at least 6. If this were yellow, it would be at least 6 plus 6. That's too big. So this is definitely purple. Totally forgot about the whole business where this is doubled. This is a 2, 5, 8 triple. That is random, but true, I think. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and these, that's not 1. These aren't 3, just for future reference. All right. So, I mean, I can rule out some stuff. Like, for example, this can't be a doubled 8 or a doubled 7, because those are both already greater than or equal to 11. So this can only be 3 or 5, which is now interesting because one of the combinations here was a 3, 5. So that means this can't be a 3 anymore. Because if this digit's a 3, I now need to make this a 5, and I can't. So this is now a 2. That's really slick. So this is a 2 with a 5 or a 6. This probably can't be an 8 either, because again, this is a minimum 6. So the maximum these two cells can sum to is 5. Oops, sorry. So this is not 5. This is not 5 or 8. This can only be 1 or 2. This cell can only be 3 or 4, just because these two have to add to at most 5. If this is a 5, let's do the thing that probably chat has been upset that I haven't done. If this is a doubled 5, I need these two to sum to 1 or less. That's not going to work super well. So that's a 3, which makes that a 4. Doubled 3 and 4 is already 10, so that's got to be a 1. This has to be purple, because it can't be in this cage, or things have gone horribly awry. This is not a 1, so that's a 2-5 pair, placing the 8 in the row. So those of you who like the one of these is an 8 thing, it actually got us the 8 in the row, so congratulations. All right, so these are a 5, 6, 9 triple, so these are just a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are a 7, 8 pair in some order. Some order yet to be determined. So a 2, 5 pair. If this were a 5, it would need to go with a 1 or a 2. If this is a 2, then it's got options. It's less than or equal to. You can't quite see it with the X, but it's less than or equal to. Oh, it's not a less than. This actually sums to 7. For once, Math Pesto actually told us the total. So because this is a 2, 5, this has to be a 2 or a 5 in order to add to 7. So that gives us a 2, 5, 8 triple in this row now, which lets us pencil mark the rest of the row, because they can't be 2, 5, or 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so these, that's not 3 or 7. This isn't 1 or 3. This isn't 1, 6, or 7. This isn't 1, 6, or 7. And this is a naked 9? How on earth did this get to be a naked 9? So it sees 1 here, 2 from the triple, 3, 4, 5 from the triple, 6, 7, 8 from the triple, and not. And yep, and so it's a 9. Good lord. So these are a 3, 4 pair, which then rules 4 out of those. And to think, I thought, oh, maybe it's overkill for me to fill this in. But no, it was exactly the intended thing for me to notice that this cell was a naked single thanks to that triple looking at it and everything looking at it from every which direction. So that places the 9 there. So I've got a 9 up here somewhere. It's time to remind Zeta that circles are yellow. Thank you, MicroStudy. We've got that. This is part of a cage that who knows what's going on. Oh, and now these are the 2, 5, and 8. That's not the 2. Just to finish off the box. Oh, where is 3 in box 7 has been called by Jay Dyer. That is the 3 in box 7. Excellent. Let's fill in this triple. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that one's not a 5 because of the pair. That one's not a 4 because of the row. Oh! 4 in this row is actually over here, although I guess that's not exciting. I was just noticing that I can't repeat digits in this cage. I've been ignoring that, but it's actually very relevant, because now whereas 8 in row 7, because I can't repeat digits in a cage, this has to be the 8. I was forgetting about the purple cells in a cage actually have meaning in terms of what digits you're allowed to repeat. So there's my stuff with 8s. So apparently this isn't an 8 anymore. It's not possible for this to get as high as 8. Because if the circle wants to be an 8, it can only see 7 cells. So the circle can't be an 8, and so therefore this is an 8. Oh, I see Carl said that right as I was sort of piecing that together. It was like, wait a second, can I count? And in this instance, for once, I could count. Don't get used to it, though. It won't last long. We have this gigantic cage. So, I know 2 and 5 in this row are in these 5 cells. Correction, I know 2 and 5 in this row are in these 4 cells. Can I place the 2 and 5 in this row? I don't think I can quite. Though I'm very close on the 2. I'm a little less close on the 5. Let's see. Yeah, and the 8 is similar-ish. Oh, okay, sorry. The 2, actually, there's a secret corner mark 2 in here because of the triple. That's not a 2. And that's not a 2. Okay, I think I can actually place the 2. Very good. Interesting. Okay, so that's a 2. In a circle that's yellow. I remembered that time, but thank you. Always appreciated getting my yellow circling. I was hoping that that was going to be like a big spoiler, but it doesn't actually tell me anything. I was hoping that that was like a thing that I only saw because I was smart, not because I needed to, but I feel like Math Pesto was on to me and knew that I was going to see that. All right. Isabella asks, what's the doubler in column 7? So it's not a 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be a 5. Can't be a 6. Can't be a 7. Can't be an 8. And it can't be a 9. Oh, wow. So the doubler in column 7 is always a 5? And it's not there? That's a crazy good spot, Isabella. So the doubler here is a 5, and so therefore this isn't a 5, it's an 8, which seems to go with a 2 and a 5. Which goes with a 5 and a 2. Let's see. Oh, and so now where is the 5 in this column? The 5 in this column now can only go here. So that's got to be the 5 and the 2. And now where's the 5 in this column? Only here. So that's the 5 and the 6. So these are a triple of sorts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the sort of triple that they are. That one seems not to be an 8. Oh, because it's in a cage with an 8. That makes sense. These are a triple of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's not a 2 because of the cage. And these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that one I know is not a 5. Okay. All right. So we know about our doubled 5. Let's see. What about this row? I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing 5, 6, and 8. And the 8 has to go here. What about in this row? I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4 I have. So these are from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not a 9, that's not a 5. Okay, so Jay Dyer has done something fancy in box 4. So the question is, what's the doubler here? It could be 1. It can't be 2, because it's in one of these two cells, and both of these see a 2. Or see those two 2s, whichever you want. It can't be 3. It can't be 4. Can't be 5. Can't be 6. Could be 7, and can't be 8 or 9. So there's a 1 or a 7 up here. So I guess the way I can mark that for rigorousness is that 1 and 7 in this box go into these cells, because the last 1 or 7 in this box is the doubler. And so therefore this digit is not 1, 2, could be 3, could be 3 or 4. Can't be 3 for some unknown reason. Oh, because there's a 3 in the box. Could be 4, can't be 5, can't be 6, 7, can't be 8, and can't be 9. So this digit just is a 4. That is a very good spot. And so this is a 6, a 5, a 4, a 6. None of these are 6 now. These are just 5, 7, 9. That's not a 6. Sorry, I removed a random digit. That's not a 6. Let's remove the right digit. So let's fill in this triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are a 1, 3, 7 triple. To finish that off, I of course know that these aren't 1, know that these aren't 7. Chili, that's not true, because I don't know that this is whether this is doubled or not. It might, in fact, be the only place in the grid for a doubled 2. It's not, because I can also double a 2 over here. So I think the digits I have left to double are 1, 2, and 7. For these boxes. Okay. So where's the double 1 is Garian's question. And so the doubled 1 can't be in this box because of this 1, 3, 7 triple. And so the double 1 is either in this box or it's over here, and both of those actually see this cell, so this cell is never a 1, is Garian's point. And that gives us a 6, 7 pair in the cage. So that means that this digit is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's not 3 or 9, so this digit can only be 1 or 4. Oh, right. Aren't the only digits that I have left to double 1, 2, and 7? Isn't that what I said? I think 1, 2, and 7 is what I said. And so the 1 and 7 aren't doubled, so the 2 definitely is doubled, is Dog's point. So the 2 is secretly really a 4. And so that was a very good spot. So that means that we can do a lot more Xing. In particular, we can place the doubler in this box. So we know this cell is the 1 or the 7. And it's not a 1, so it is a 7. So that's a 6 and a 1. And this cell is the other thing. This cell is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This cell's a 9. That cell's a 6, so that cell's a 7. That cell's a 3 for some reason, so that's a 7 and a 1. That's not a 7 anymore. Let's fill in our pair and our triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up here. So that is a 1, 3, 4 triple in the row. So if that's a 1, 3, 4 triple, it makes that a 9, which makes that an 8. Circles are yellow. Thank you, MicroStudy. This is not a 9. That's not a 9 either. These aren't 7. They're 6 and 8. So yeah, one of these two is a 4. Oh, that 7 looked down and made that a 5. Makes that not a 5. These are a triple, so let's... Oh, okay. Oh, no, this greater than or equal to 7 doesn't quite do it for me. Okay, never mind. So these are from 1, 2, 4. I think these are from 1, 2, 4. I think these are from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so this is a naked 6, is what I believe. Yep, seems right. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This isn't a 6, 7, or a 9. And it sees the 1, 3, 4 triple, so this is a 5. So this isn't a 5 or a 6. So we've got all of that in there. Okay. Let's see. Why can't it be the doubled 5, Garion? I originally thought that, but then I realized this is a greater than or equal to 7 cage, not a less than or equal to 7 cage. So I was then not sure. Because, like, it seems like maybe it could see some ridiculous strew of stuff like that or something. Let's see. Garion also did the same thing. Okay. The fact that this needs to see 4 cells is interesting. So this cell can't be purple. If this cell was purple, this would only see 4 cells if all of these were yellow, but they can't all be yellow. So this cell is definitely yellow. Only one of these can be yellow. But one of them is yellow, because if both of them are purple, we have a Battenberg. So that's 1 yellow that the 2 sees. That's 2, that's 3. The yellow gets 1 more, so either that's yellow or that's yellow. The doubler in box 1 sees row 3, column 6. I don't know what to make of that statement. Oh, this is an actual 2 in a circle. I haven't looked at this 2 at all. Oh, right. The point is, I know the doubler in this box is the 1. And so because the doubler in this box is the 1, this is the point. This, therefore, is the 4 and not the 1. Because the doubler is the 1. So, So one of these two is purple and one of them is yellow. What is the total of this cage? 9, 8 is 17. Well, what's just missing from this cage is a 1 or a 3. So, I'm basically trying to see if I can math my way into knowing that these have to be yellow. So if the 9's not yellow, then the whole rest of the cage sums to at most 35. But I can't make the entire rest of the cage yellow. So I would have to make that not yellow. It would have to look exactly like that. This would be a 1. Unfortunately, I think this is all very plausible. Oh, it's not plausible because of this 2 floor clue. Right. Okay, got it. Okay, so the 2 floor clue tells me I include at most 1 of 5 and 7. So I'm actually already at a maximum for the whole box. Once I take into account that I'm throwing out 1 of the 5 and the 7, I'm already throwing out at least 6, because there's also a 1 or a 3 missing from the cage. So that means the entire cage, minus that 5 or 7 and 1 or 3, already sums to at most 39. So that means anything 5 or greater over here must be included. So these all have to be yellow. And therefore this is purple to avoid a 2x2. This is purple because purple has to connect to the wall. And so now I am excluding at most 11 worth of stuff. So I guess I could exclude those 2 is the point. That would be okay. Let's see. This is currently seeing 3. Let's see. I'm being told 5 in yellow breaks the 2. Oh, right. Okay, so here's the point. So if I exclude the 4 and the 7, I'm now excluding strictly more than 12, is the point. Because there's actually 2 ways to see this. One is I'm excluding another digit, so it doesn't work. And the other is, if I exclude the 4 and the 7, and nothing else, I'm creating this top hat shape per MicroStudy, or maybe this is more of a cowboy hat. But either way, that doesn't work. So I can't exclude the 7. I must include the 7. And so, therefore, this is purple. And so now, in order to get to the total that I want, that is 32. I need this to be yellow and a 3 in order to get to the right place. Okay, so none of these are 3. And so those are a 4-5 pair, so there's no 4 there. This is a thing. Oh, and so now this is a 4 and a 3. Oh, that 3 has made this a 1. I don't know if that being a 1 has helped anything, but maybe it has. Can this still get to 10? Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you bugger. It can. Can absolutely get to 10. It's a 1-2 deadly pattern, but it's going to be disambiguated by the fact that you can't repeat the same 1-2 in the cage. Let's see. Okay, so what else? Oh, this is purple because of the 2 clue. This can't be purple because if it was, this would be a purple 2x2, so that has to be yellow. And now that has to be yellow to debattenberg us. This can be purple or yellow. I don't think it matters. Let's see. Okay. So, what now? If this is a doubled 5, it doesn't work. I think for the following reason. If this is a doubled 5, it has to look exactly like this, which looks okay until you realize that this piece of wall can't make it to the edge. So this can't be the doubled 5. It must be the 4. That's the doubled 5. Wait, what? Am I wrong? It can? How? One moment. Okay, so if this is the doubled 5 through the doubled 7. Oh! No, you're right. You're right. Sorry. It can get through here. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was right. Never mind. The bottom one touches. Yep, it can. You're right. Darn it. I was so happy with that deduction, too. Okay. That's a good point. Okay, so, wait, but it just told me that the 4 I entered was correct. But I feel like I have a very compelling argument now presented that this has to be a 5 from Garion that I believe. Which is that if this is not a 5, then the most that this can add to is 6. But I think it's going to tell me the 5 is wrong. Oh, it didn't light up before? I see. Okay, so this is a 5, so it is doubled. Okay, so sorry, my argument was very wrong. So as soon as this is a 5 and it is doubled, this is a 1 and it is doubled. Oops, not like that. This is a 1 and it is doubled, and we can de-exify everything. Pause for de-exification. Please hold. De-exification in process, or in progress. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Halfway there, don't worry. This is the most gripping content you've ever waited for, is watching me dx whatever 81 minus 9 is cells. But also put lots of random extra x's on edges. Okay. And now look how much prettier that looks. Okay, so now we know that this is a 2 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2. Oh, I missed an x. Oh, no. Oh, no. I missed 2 x's. Oh, no. Oh, I missed one on the betting tree. Okay. This wall still needs to get out. I'm going to try and finish the coloring if I can. This wall still needs to get out, so it needs to go there. I have to avoid a 2x2 now. And so I have to avoid a 2x2 there. Uh-oh. We broke it. Because this isn't right. Yeah, the 2 is doubled, but it sees 3 things. But if this isn't purple, it doesn't touch the edge. Yeah, we definitely broke it. Oh, it can go up! Right, I don't know. Sorry, in my brain, I'm just used to using gray for... Sorry, I'm just dumb. In my brain, I'm used to using gray for wall, so my brain just immediately interpreted this gray as wall, but it can't be because this needs to be a 4. And then this needs to be purple to avoid a 2x2. This needs to be purple to avoid a 2x2. This needs to be purple to avoid a 2x2, so I'll make it green. So now we can start filling in some more digits, and I feel not bad about filling in some more digits because we're going to need some digits to reveal what's going on over here. So we can 6 that cell, 5 that cell. Uh-oh, why am I wrong? Oh, no, okay, no, I'm not. 9 that cell, okay. And so now I need to make sure that my yellows up here get to at least 19. Let's see. We can 4 that, 8 that, 6 that. So yeah, what are the largest digits left in the row? So I can't make both of these yellow is the point. So these are a maximum of 8 that they're contributing. Plus 6 would be 14. So therefore this has to be yellow, I believe, is what we're saying. Oh, it's exactly 19. It's exactly 19. Okay. Sorry. But at most one of these is yellow. And so the maximum these sum to is 8 plus 6. So I'm never going to get to 19 without yellowing this cell. And now these sum to 12. And so I need a yellow 7 over here. And so if I need a yellow 7 in here, it means that this is a 9. That's a 3 and a 7. That's a 3. That's a 7 and a 9. That's purple. And our bet tree is the yellow 7. Woohoo! Very nice puzzle. That was, there were a few brutal steps in there, that I'm glad chat saw, but excellent puzzle overall. Super cool. And required so many different layers of coloring. It was delightful. Alrighty, I am going to take a quick break, and I will be back shortly. So I will see you all in just a moment. Be right back. I'm back, everyone. Let's have a look next at this Jay Dyer puzzle, Peering into the Fog. So we have normal Sudoku rules. We have normal Sudoku X rules, so I can't repeat digits along the X's. And we have digits sum to the digit in the cage. And digits can't repeat within the cages, so if I make that a 2, I can't make that a 2. And there is a betting tree somewhere in the fog, so you have to guess blind where that is going to be. It is slightly terrifying that this might be a set puzzle. I do remember Jay Dyer threatening to make a set puzzle. I know that these are 1, 2, 3. Because of that. Because these need to sum to 6. These Wait, did I do that wrong? No, these need to sum to 8. Sorry. These need to sum to 6. I can't do math. These need to sum to 8. So if these need to sum to 8, they are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's not a 5. These need to sum to 9. These need to sum to 7. Let's do that one first. So those are from 1, 2, 4. So these digits are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not an 8. That's not a 5. So I'll remove a random digit instead and see. And then these are from, because these add to 9. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So they can't be 6. So that is not a 5. Okay. So I'm going to guess the point is going to be that all of these have to be different because they all see each other through the weird medium of the Xing. So everything's going to intersect at this center point. And so the center point, just out of the gate, can only be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can only be one of those. If this were a 1, 2, 3, or 4, it would force this to be a 5, because this cell actually forms a quintuple with these. I assume it has to be 9. I'm just trying to figure out how to prove it has to be 9. The potato head theorem doesn't apply. The potato head theorem is for anti-knight puzzles, and this is not an anti-knight puzzle, I don't think, unless I missed it. If this is an anti-knight puzzle, that's very poorly telegraphed. We'll put it that way. Oh, maybe there's a theorem for Sudoku X that I don't know. So let's see. So, the thing that's lurking under all of this is that these cells are precisely the same as the yellow cells. So the yellow cells don't have a 9. And there's apparently some famous Jay Dyer theorem that says that if the yellow cells don't have a 9, this has to be a 9. Which is pretty cool. So the question is, where is 9 on the diagonals? And the answer is it doesn't work. 9 on the diagonals, that's really cool. Okay, so that's very nice. So by the fact that the yellow cells are the same as these squares, I need to put 9 on both diagonals, but I can't put it in any of these cells. So the 9s need to go on the diagonals in here. And then that makes this a 9. So that's cool. I like that a lot better than the Sonic one. Because that at least has a relatively elegant proof. So like that feels like, if you already know the Fistula Fell thing, that feels quite discoverable, that the 9 on this diagonal is here and the 9 on this diagonal is there. And so this is a 9. Oh, and that's the betting tree. Cruel and unusual. Congratulations to all the 9 bettors out there. I think this is the first time. Oh, that's not the bet tree. It's just a troll tree. I see. But we can go ahead and give Zach his digit dance chance. So Zach will come out and do his dance for the 9. Do-do-do-do. Woo! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-wah-ha! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-wah-ha! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ha! Oh, and ELSF donates $2 and says, "Cool, we'll get you a little donation dance too." Woohoo! Waha! Wee! Thank you so much, ELSF. That is much appreciated. Very cool. All right, so I feel like I said something about what happened if this wasn't a 9. Now I must have to figure out what's going to happen. So we're saying there has to be a 1 and a 2 in these. Because the 1 and 2s don't show up now. Potato Head's theorem is not by Potato Head. That seems to align with the usual way that things are named. I have a 1-2 pair in column 9. I know that there's a 1 and a 2 in these cells, I suppose. I don't think that tells me that this can't be a 1 or a 2. So the question is, given that these cells... No? Right. Okay, got it. Okay, so this is a quad, and so the point is, where's the 3 in this quad? It's in one of these 2 cells. So this is never a 3. And where's the 4 in this quad? It's in one of these 2 cells, so this is never a 4. And so that gives us the claimed 1-2 pair from chat. So what is that going to do? Oh, here's a thing it does that has nothing to do with any of that. Where is the 1-2 on this diagonal? The 1-2 on this diagonal... At least one of them has to go in this box. Can they both go in this box? Maybe they can. Never mind. Maybe this is a fool's errand. Yeah, if this was 1-2, 5... No, it would work if that was still 1-2. I'm just trying to think about how I'm going to make sure I put 1 and 2 on this diagonal, given that they're not there. Let's see. I'm told 1-2, 5 is not 9. That's interesting. These have to sum to 9, not 8. One of them has to sum to 8. So this is either 1-3, 5 or 2-3, 4. Don't know. This is the one that's summing to 8. So this one's either 1-3, 4 or 1-2, 5. So that's going to put 2 of 1, 2, 3 in here regardless. It is true, there's always a 3 in these cells. I will pencil mark that out of desperation. This, I'm certain, is Jay Dyer's revenge for the fact that on her puzzle for the CTC 500th anniversary pack, I used set when set wasn't intended. I'm being told I can't put 1-2s in every cage. I don't see why yet. It sounds very plausible, though. If I put 1-2s in every cage, then I guess I have to fit 1-2s in all of these cells, which I can't because there's 1-2s in every cage. Or something. Yeah, right. If there's 1-2s in every cage, then the only places... Well, then these would both be a 1-2 pair, right? Right. So if there's a 1 and a 2 in every cage, these 4 cells have to be 1-2s, and it breaks that cell. Because I need 2 1-2s on both diagonals, and they would only go there. So there can't be 4 1s and 4 2s. Is the claim. Although this cage can't even have both 1 and 2 in it, even if it tried, so it's maybe not actually useful. Let's see. What's the minimum number of 1s I have between these cages? I think the minimum number of 1s I have between these cages is 3, right? This doesn't need a 1, but all of the others do. And so if there's 1s in 3 of these cages, that means that, the 1 on... I'm trying to say that this can't be 1 because of that, but I think I'm not going to get there. Because I was trying to say that 3 of these 4 have to be 1s, but that's obviously not true. See, Josh asks if we can put 1 in all 4 cages. Which I think the answer is no, but I don't think I have any clue as to why. Maybe it would break this 1-2 pair. I think if I put 1 in all 4 cages, I think these are both 2, I think is what happens. So let's try and understand this. So if I need to put 4 1s, hey, Ace of Spades, how are you doing? Okay, maybe it is the question of can I put 4 1s on the ring? So if I put 4 1s on the ring, okay. Yeah, that is the point. If I put 4 1s on the ring, oh no, if I put 4 1s in the squares, I put 4 1s in the ring, and now where is 1 going on this diagonal? Only in one of these 2 cells. And where is 1 going on this diagonal? Only one of these 2 cells. And then, as stated, both of these are 2. That's heinous, Jay. I know you wanted it to be heinous, so I know you're not insulted by me saying that, but that is heinous. So the point is that this doesn't have a 1 in it. These are 2, 3, 4. Okay, and so now, if there's 4 2s, then the 4 2s again have to go in these spots. And so then where do they go on the diagonals? They go in these spots. And now both of these are 1s. And so that's not going to work either. So there can't be 4 2s, but I know there's a 2 here, here, and here. And so there can't be a 2 here. And so therefore this is 1, 3, 4. Like that. Okay, and so now I get some extra quads to hang out with. So for example, in this quad in the column, I know one of these is a 1. So that's not a 1. And I know one of these is a 2, so that's not a 2. Oh, I can get rid of this corner marked 3 that now doesn't do anything. Now, in this row, I know one of these is a 3, and so that's not a 3. In this row, I know one of these is a 1, so that's not a 1. So we've got all of that going on. Oh, one of these is a 2, so that's not a 2. One of these is a 4, so that's not a 4. Let's see. So there's definitely a 1 and a 3 in here. Oh, I do now have my 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple here. Okay, so MicroStudy has a point, which is that if I look at this diagonal and ask the question, where am I putting the 1, the only plausible places are there and there. And so this cell sees both of them, so therefore it's not a 1. So we've got that. Is there a problem if these work out to be a 2-3 pair? If these are a 2-3 pair, then those become a 1-4 pair on the other diagonal. Oh, no, it's easier than that. The point is 2 on this diagonal can only go in one of these two, so this can't be a 2. I mean, I say it's easier than that. I don't think it's going to do anything immediately. 3 on this diagonal is going to need to go in one of these two cells, so that can't be a 3. So now these are a 1-4 pair. So this digit can't be a 4. And now these are a 2-3 pair. Isabella says I did something wrong. So how far do I have to back up? Because 3 can go on the diagonal in box 5 is the point. So I think I have to back up to here, because I did assume that the logic kept going for 3s, but it doesn't. Let's see, did I at least get to the... Okay, so I can remove 1 from there, and I can remove 2 from there. Okay, so I think that is as far as this logic goes, because I don't know anything about 3s down here. Okay, and so 57 Thorns now asks, where does 1 go on this diagonal? And the answer is somehow only there. Bizarrely. Interesting, because of these 1-2 pencil marks. So there is a surprise second digit. And so the point is now this is a 1, because I need to have a 1 in row 6 somewhere, and it can only go here because of this cage. This digit now has to be a 3, because it's in an 8 cage with a digit that's at least 8. So that's a 3. And so this is a 5. I have to remind... my brain is still stuck on every cage being less than or equal and not equal. Okay. So that's a 3. So I know there's a 3 over down here somewhere. Don't know how much that immediately helps. I know there's a 2 down here somewhere. Because these 2s form a Jovi wing. I know there's a 3 in one of these two cells because of this Jovi on 3s. I know there's a 4 in one of these cells because of that again. 2 on the negative diagonal. Okay, 2 on the negative diagonal is not there. And okay, so 2 on the negative diagonal is here. So that's not a 2. Okay. Then 2 in row 4. Column 4. Right, okay, so now I've got this killer cage here coming down. I know one of these is a 2. And it's not one of those, it's not one of these, so that's the 2. Agree with that. I would never describe this puzzle as fun, but it is very cool. Row 6, column 2. I'm told C's 1, 2, 3, 4. It does see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. So we've got a quad in the column. And so therefore the 2 now only has this place to go. And so now these need to... Oh, I'm sure it's fun to watch someone else do. I mean, that's like part of the whole fun of streaming is the sort of schadenfreude of it. I mean, the whole fun of watching streams, I mean, is the whole schadenfreude of it. No, I mean, this is obviously an excellent choice for this particular purpose. Okay, so this needs an 8 and a 9, because these need to sum to 22. 8 and a 9 is an annoying string of digits to have to be in here. Oh, so I know one of these is a 9. Okay, I know one of these is a 9. And my digits only come from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this one sees 5, 6, 7, and 9. So this digit's an 8, always, is the point. Okay, and so these two digits now sum to... right, 9 can't go in the Fistomaphel ring, Tristan points out, because there's no 9 in the squares, so 9 can't go in the ring. So that's a 9. And then presumably I know what this is. 9 and 8 is 17, and that's 20, and so that's a 5. No 9 over there. So one of these two is a 5. So one of these two is a 5. I don't think that's ever going to be useful. One of these two is a 5, and I know which one. So just by Sudoku, 5 is pushed into this box, but it can't go here because it's already been on the diagonal, so that's a 5. Let's see. There's only 2 5s on the Fistomaphel ring. Oh, sorry, no, there's 2 5s on the Fistomaphel ring, but we're missing 1 currently. Yeah, so we need another 5 on the Fistomaphel ring. It's not going there, or any of those places, or there, or there. Or there. So the 5 on the Fistomaphel ring... Oh, there's only 1 5? I can't count. There's only 1 5 on the Fistomaphel ring. Okay, so there are no more 5s. I believe that. Okay. It's being claimed we do need 3 3s, however. One of these is a 3. Annoyingly, I think that could be a 3, so that's probably not going to work. Everyone's saying it's placed here, but I don't see how people are counting that. I only need 3. I don't need 4. Let's see. 3, 4 is a line in box 1 and box 7. I'm being told. Oh, right. Okay, so, right. So, the 3s and 4s align here. So this is, okay, so this doesn't have anything to do with set. Just the 3s and 4s form a Jovi wing, placing a 3-4 pair here, which makes that a 4 and a 3. Got it, okay. So, nothing, so the Wisteria Fall ring was a red herring. We got that. Oh, I'm told this is the only place for a 1 in the column. I don't see that. There's a claim about this 15 cage needing a 1, but I have no idea what's going on with that. Oh, actually, no, I don't know. There's not a 1 in one of these cells, unfortunately. Yeah, so one of these is a 1. Doesn't really do anything. Okay, one of these is a 2. One of them's a 1. One of these 2 is a 4. I can place 1 in column 1. Yes, I believe that. 1 in column 1 definitely goes here. So that's a 2 and a 1, which makes that a 2. Good. 4, 5. So these are a 6, 7 pair. And actually, so are those. Oops. Like that. So these are a 5 and a something. 5 and 8 as a pair. Let's see. Chad is claiming that because this 15 cage has at least 4 cells, it needs a 2. So if it has no 2, then it would be a minimum of 1, 3, 4, 5, which is 13. Is what I get. 1, 3, 4, 5 is 13. I get 13. Oh, people are trying to prove it has a 1. Because it doesn't have a 2, maybe? I mean, it could have a 2 if it's over somewhere else, maybe, possibly. I mean, I don't... Oh, maybe it does. Like, I guess, actually, you know where all the 2s are down here, and the cage actually can't even escape up here or anything like that. Actually, I probably just know where every 2 in the grid is, don't I? I actually know where every 2 in the grid is, almost. The only one I don't know where it is up here somewhere. So yeah, okay, I agree. There's no 2 in this 15 cage, so it has to have a 1 in it somewhere. And the 1 can't be in this box, so the 1 is in this box somewhere. And so the spot that Carl wanted earlier was that can't be the 1, because the only way that this could make this work would be to make the 15 cage 5 cells, but if the cage is 5 cells, then it has to be, it has to have a 2 in it, and it doesn't. So the 15 cage is exactly 4 cells, and does need to have a 1. And so the 1, therefore, is in one of these 2 cells, and not there. I don't like it, but I'll accept it. So that's a 1. 2 is placed in box 2, I'm being told. 2's up here, at least. Do I know which of those it is? Oh, yeah, I do, because of the 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. So that is the 2. You're right, I do know where the last 2 is. The 1 corner marks... Ah, yeah, one of these is a 1, so that's not a 1. So that is the 1. I mean, there've been some cool parts in this puzzle. But some of the deductions have been very, very ugly. Although I am told that most of the ugly ones are actually pretty if you look at it the right way, which I 100% believe. These 3 sum to 14 without using a 1 or a 2, so they're a minimum 3, 4, 5. So yeah, let's see. Tristan has requested that you make 6 more puzzles like this for him, Jay, and then he'll do them. Let's see. Okay, so there is no 5 anywhere in these cells. Actually, I know these 2 cells are at least a 5, 6. So if these 2 cells are a minimum 5, 6, because they see the quadruple, then this cell just has to be a 3, because these have to be 5, 6 with 3 there, right? So 6, 5, and then that's the 4. Full rank Fog of War. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Okay, these are 7, 8, 9. No, I mean, you said you wanted to set a Fog of War set puzzle, and you set one, and I feel like you met your exact goal. So, I may not want to do another one, but I'm happy to have done this one. Let's see. Like, I have mad respect for the setting in this puzzle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a 4 or an 8. This I know isn't a 9, because I know there's not a 9 on the ring. 3 on the negative diagonal is placed. 3 on the negative diagonal is placed. No, there's 2, right? Can't both of these be 3 on the negative diagonal? No, I'm being told. Look at the 3 on the left. Oh, hey, look at that 3. Ha ha ha. Okay, yeah, so that's a 3, a 4, and a 1. So that's a 3 and a 2 and a 1. So that's a 2 and a 4 and a 1. It's a 3 and a 2 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looking at that. That is remarkable setting, by the way. This is just stupendous. Kurban says this is a naked single, so let's do that. It's not 1, it's not 2, it's not 3, it's not 4, it's not 5. It could be 6, it's not 7 or 8 or 9. So I think that means it's a 4. No, I did that wrong. What did I say it was? It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it could be 6. Sorry, it's a 6. Making that the betting tree. Adorable. Okay, so these are 6, 7, 8, 9, making that a 9. Making those a 7, 8 pair, which makes that a 6. Making that a 5 because of that 7, 8 pair. Making that a 9 over there, making that an 8 and a 5. these aren't 6 or 9. By uniqueness, that's not a 9. Let's see. Oh, maybe I can't even use that in a puzzle of this sort. I'm not actually sure. This is certainly a 6, 7, or 8, and it's not a 7. So these are 3 and 9, making that a 9 and a 3, making that not a 9. Now I really want to write a 9 in that cell. So 8 in this column is going in one of those two cells. I don't think I know which one yet. I guess I should just mark at this point and see that that is a 7 and a 3 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 4. Oh, good night, DDX. Hope you had fun. 8 and 7 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 6 and 4 and 8 and 9 and 7 and 4 and 6 and 6 and 7 and 9 and 6 and 8. And so now I probably actually have to look at what this cage has going on with it. Yes, because yeah, so if this were a 7, this would need to be a 5. And if this were a 9, this would need to be a 3, but we already have one of those. So this is a 7 and a 9, and a 7 and an 8 and a 9 and a 7 and an 8. And then we do math to find the betting tree is a 5. Brilliant construction, Jay. Like if you view that the goal of setting challenges, like this one in particular, is to sort of like show off the breadth and coolness of what things you can do with a mechanic, I feel like this did an amazing job of doing that. Very sweet. Alrighty. Let me take a short break, and we probably have time for one more fog puzzle. The 2-star spiral galaxies puzzle. Yeah, there was a lot of... I'm not sure I was supposed to think about the Fistamafell ring at all, if I'm honest, because I think everything we did involving the Fistamafell ring and this 1-2 pair, I think was all the stuff that Jay said we shouldn't have had to do. Because like the stuff that I thought was like particularly unpleasant was stuff that involved this 1-2 pair. But I think that was all avoidable if we sort of thought about 57 Thorns Point later. Or earlier in the solve. But again, there are lots of reasons to set puzzles besides puzzle that Zeta will have the most fun solving. And I feel like this puzzle did an excellent job of meeting other goals. Particularly the goal of the setting challenge in general. Alrighty. Let me go grab another puzzle, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, here's another one. So here we have Fog in the Square by Chili. Oh, nice. So we have normal Sudoku, normal Fog of War rules. Digits in the circle count the number of 149s in the 3x3 cells surrounding the digit, including itself. Not all circles are necessarily given. digits in a gray circle must be odd. Digits separated by a white dot must be consecutive. Not all white dots are necessarily given. So this cell sees every square in the box. So this cell has to be a 3, right? Because we're counting, because it includes itself. So this digit has to be a 3. Yeah, these are the black circles, not the gray circles. I presume we'll get to the gray circles later. So this digit must be strictly less than 3. Sure, I'll have a bet tree. Let's put the bet tree there and hope. So one of these is a 4. Okay, let's see. So, because these digits, actually, could this one be 5? Maybe one of them could actually be 5, annoyingly. This one can't be larger than 3, because it can see at most all the squares in its own box. Hey, Chili, how are you doing? But yeah, these could be as big as 5, although I suspect if this is 5, it's going to be a problem. Because if this is going to be a 5, all of these are going to be squares. There's going to be no more squares in this row. And so this is going to be at most 2, but it couldn't actually be 2, because this would have to be the 2. So this would be the 1 in that case. Okay. So I think I need to think a little bit more about the fact that this circle also sees that circle. So Garion points out that I know that in total there are 6 149s in these rows. I agree with that. So if this were a 5, there would only be 1 more for the entire rest. So these would be happy, but then neither of these could be larger than 1, because there would only be 1 left. So Garion's point is this digit certainly can't be a 5. And this digit can't be a 4 either, because if this is a 4, there are only 2 squares left to be seen by these 2 circles, which would make these 2 circles have to be a 1-2 pair, but that doesn't work, because that's already a 1 or a 2. So we've got at least that much. Okay, let's see. If this is a 5, does that work? If this is a 5, no. If this is a 5, it doesn't work, because then all of these need to be squares, so this has to be a 1, but if this is a 5, that's not a 1. So this is never a 5. Okay, so now we really do have our 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, and so that one has to be the 4. Okay, that was cool. So 4 of these are squares, including, okay, so I should start coloring, by the way. Purple can be square, yellow can be none square. This can't be a 1, because if it's a 1, it's already more than 1, because if it's a 1, it already sees 2, so that's never a 1. In fact, at minimum, this already sees, I guess, 2, which isn't so exciting. Let's see. This cell must be more than 4, because this cell sees everything this sees, and more stuff. So this has to be at least 5. And it can't be 9. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not a square. And so if that's not a square, that almost but not quite gets us to Square Town, but not quite. So if this is a 3... 2 3 is not a square as well. Right. And so now the 4 that this sees are placed. So these digits are all 1, 4, 9, and that one's the 9 out of those. And that's, and these are from 1, 4, 9, and that one's not a 4, that one's not a 9. Okay, very good. So now this one can't be a 1 because it already sees 2 squares. So this is a 2. 2 is not a square. Which makes this a 3. And the fact that this is a 3 tells me that all the squares in this box are in fact up here, and so these are all non-squares, for sure. Oops. So these are all non-squares. Now the only thing this can be is 5, and it can only be a 5 if this is a 1 or a 4. So that is a 5. Now this is a 1, which is a square. And so... that's all the squares for this row. Oh, I can see the Taiji flower thing. Okay, and the 1 can't see any more squares because it's a 1. It already counts itself. This box has its 3 squares, so those are all yellow. Oh, this is purple just because it's the only place for a purple in this box, apparently. And so these are a 1, 9 pair, which means that this is actually a 4 and a 1. And that lets me yellow all the rest of this. And yellow that as well. Also, big thank you to Chili for not making all circles given. Which would have made this somewhat more painful. So these are 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not a 5. We can go ahead and fill in. And these are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Could this be a 6? No. Because if this was a 6, it would need to see more than 5 is the most. So this is a 2. And the fact that it's a 2 means all of these are non-squares because it already sees 2 squares up there. That's... Oh, I was going to say, that's 5 non-squares. That's all of them, but 5 is not all of them, in fact. This is not a 2. One of these is a 2. Let's see. So this cell, if I look at it, is now at most 3. And so if it's at most 3, I can just write in 1, 2, 3 into the cell. Oh, but it's not a 1. Because it's yellow, so it is only a 2 or a 3. To go there. So one of these is purple, or both of them are purple. I don't know which yet. This cell... I don't think I know a lot about yet. It could be as high as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so actually, never mind. I do know that this cell can only be 2 or 3, because it can be at most 4 by the column and the box, but then it can't be 1 or 4. So these are a 2, 3 pair, in fact. Which is itself interesting. Let's see. Have to avoid a checkerboard, so no. Oh, enjoy your takeaway, Jay. I really like sweeper-type puzzles most of the time, but I'm biased. Interestingly, this can't be a 1, because if this is a 1, it sees 2 squares, and so this is at least a 4, but it's at most a 4, too, because it can see at most the 3 squares from this box plus that 1. So this just is a 4, which means it's a square. Likewise, this one can't be a 1, so it's at least a 5. And it's not a 9, so it's certainly yellow. So this 4 sees its other 2 squares there and there. So those are yellow. These are 1 and 9. Okay, so this needs to get to at least 5. And it's getting to at most 6 just by counting. Oh, it can't even get to 6 because I can't make all 3 of these purple because there's already a purple in the column. So in fact, this is identically a 5, which makes that a 5. So we've got that. And so both of the colored both of the squares in this column that aren't that one are there. So all of these are yellow. This cell has to be at least 3. But it can't be larger than 4, so it can only be a 3 or a 4. And either way, this is adorable. Whether this is a 3 or a 4, all of these are purple. Because if it's a 3, I need to see 3 purples, and this isn't purple. And if it's a 4, I need to see 4 purples, and it is. So these are all purple regardless. So that means that's a 9, and that's a 1. Tells me that 1 and 9 live over here. Tells me this cell is yellow. Because of the row now being done. This cell is both at least 2 and at most 2. It's at least 2 because there's a 1 in the box already, and it's at most 2 because this is never seeing the 9, so it can only see the 1 and the 4. So this is a 2, which is a none square. The gray circle is 3, 5, 7. I agree. The fact that this 2 needs to see the 4 means that one of these 2 is a 4. By the way, 3, 5, and 7 are all none squares. One of these 2 is a 4. And so, therefore, that's yellow as well. This is yellow because it sees every square. It sees 1 and 9 in the row and 4 in the column. So one of these 2 is 4. This 2, 3 is resolved. I now know it sees 3. It just literally does. So that's a 3 and that's a 2. This being a 2 actually tells me where the 4 is. Because now this 2 needs to see a second thing, so it sees the 4 there. I know I have 1 and 9 down here in some universe. I don't know exactly where. I know that's not the 2, while we continue our rampant speculations. Can this cell really be a 4? Oh, sorry, I know that this cell is pink now, because I've now figured out where 4 goes in this column. 4 goes here, so that's a 9, and that's yellow. Okay, these are 6, 7, 8. And these are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not a 2, and that's not a 2. Let's see, Ace of Spades says this cell can't be 4. If this were 4, all of these would be purple, and that would put 4 purples in the column right. Okay, excellent, Ace of Spades. So that's not the 4. So this is the 4, and that cell is yellow. A good spot. Okay, and so now this cell can't possibly be anything other than 3. Because if it were more than 3, life would have serious problems. And in fact, it being 3 just outright tells me that these are both squares. So that's the 4. I don't yet know if this is the 1 or the 9 in the world. I don't quite know what's happening with these circles yet. I know that, yeah, these circles, I think this is going to have to be a square, right? Maybe not. Maybe that could be a square. One of those is a square. Don't know yet. These are yellow, though. Okay, these I know are yellow. That's going to help, because the column has its 1, 4, and 9. Okay. So this digit is at absolute most a 3, so it's a 2 or a 3. This digit is at absolute most a 4, but it can't be a 4, so it's also a 2 or a 3. But of these, this one has to be the one that's bigger, because every square that this sees, this also sees. So this has to be the 3, and that's the 2, which means that's my 2 up there. So this being a 2 means one of these is purple, and this being a 3, therefore, means that one's purple. This is from 1, 4, 9, and it's not 1, so this is 4 or 9. Let's see. And these are a purple-yellow pair, for what it is worth. I can do Sudoku on 3s to place a 3 here. This can only be a 5 or an 8, it's being pointed out, by virtue of the fact that it touches a 4, 9. I agree. 3 in this box is here. That's huge. So just by Sudoku, 3 goes here. That's a very cute setting, because the dot ruled 3 out of that cell. And so now the 2 needs to see its square there. And so this is a 1, 4, or 9. I don't think I have any idea which of those it might be, but it's one of them. I know one of these two is a 4. Oh, I have a 6, 7, 8 triple up here, which has made this a 2. For whatever purposes that might help. One of these two is a 3, but I think I don't actually know which one. It sees 4 by Knight's move. Excellent, excellent. It would be a great point in a puzzle to realize that the puzzle is anti-knight, and I did not did not realize it. Excuse me. One of these two is a 3. Yeah, I know one of those is purple, so I know all of those are yellow, but I already said that. Beautiful spot from Medi there. I have 2, 4 pairs looking into box 9 from all of these angles, which have made this a hidden 2, 4 pair, which have made this a 3, which is gorgeous. So that's a 3 as well. I wonder if that was the intended spot. It sort of feels like it has to have been, right? This cell is at most a 4, and therefore it can only be a 2, because it can't be 1, 2, or 3. So that's the 4 and the 2. So that's the 9 and the 8. That's the 1 and the 9. That's the 4. I now see a white dot poking out over here. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's not a 9, apparently. Let's see, 3 and 2 are not squares. 4 is a square. This digit has to be at most 3. But I sees a 1 and sees a 2 and a 3, so it can only be a 1. And the fact that it's a 1 means none of these are squares, which means that this is the last square for the box, aka it's the 9, which fixes a bunch of our 1 and 9s that we had hanging out, making these my 2 squares over here and making this yellow to finish. In fact, actually, I know what this is. This is the 5 for the column because I've got a 6, 7, 8 triple. So this is the 6, 7, 8 for the box as well. MicroStudy says it is Sudoku on 1's a clock. Sudoku on 1's a clock tells us that this is a 1. And therefore these are both yellow. And therefore this is a 9. And therefore this is yellow. I think we might have all the 1s now, actually. In fact, actually, I think we have all the squares done. So now we just have to do the none squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's a 5, 6, 7 triple. So in this column, the 8 goes there. So now in this box, the 8 goes here. So that's the 8 for this box. Yeah, one of those is the 8. That's not super helpful. So let's look at this. 8 in this box is placed there. So it's placed there. So it's placed there. It became Sudoku on 8's o'clock, apparently. So these are from 5, 6, 7. That one I know is not a 5. These are from 6, 7, 8. Okay. Never mind. I want to look at the fact this 6, 7 is looking at this. Maybe I don't want to look at that yet. I want to fill in this pair. That'll do it. Okay, 1. So these are not a 2, 3, 4, 5. These are a 6, 7 themselves. And so this is a 5. Yeah, probably I am past the point where I should have hit the mark button. That's true. Since I'm basically hand marking, I might as well, if I'm going to hand mark everything, I might as well mark everything. So the 6 in this column is one of these two based on that odd cell. So therefore, this isn't a 6, so it's the 7, making that the 6 and the 7, making that the 6 and the 5 and the 7, making that the 6, making none of these the 6. Now 5 doesn't touch either of those, so those are a 7, 8 pair, and that's a 5. So that's a 6 and a 5, and a 6, and a 7, and an 8, and a 7, and an 8, and a 6 and a 7, 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 and a 5, and an 8. Congratulations from Zach and I to all of the 8 bettors out there. May all of your betting tree wishes come true. That's the second 8 today, isn't it? That is our second 8 today. We've done 4 puzzles today so far? Oh, have we done 5? Maybe we've done 5 puzzles today so far. That was super fun. Really liked that one. Super clean, super enjoyable. I really liked that one. Yeah, the something that AutoMark sells when they reach 3 candidates, that could be fun. I've sort of wanted something that lets me select cells and then hit mark to just mark the selected cells. Because quite often I want to mark like a group of cells, and I think saying like just mark these would be cool. But identifying naked singles for you automatically like that would also be cute. But yeah, maybe I'll suggest that to Chameleon, that if cells are selected when you hit the mark button, it only marks the mark buttons. I believe Tristan posted a long string on how to create a Fog of War puzzle, Sayori. So I think if you go in the zetamath Discord, I think there is a post on how to do it. Alrighty. I mean, the whole point, Jaleb, is to give you an even lazier version of that. All right. Welcome, Mavir. I'm going to go take a break, and then we're going to come back and do some 6x6s. So hang out, and I'll be right back shortly. Alrighty. This next puzzle is what we call zeta bait, because I saw this and immediately was like, oh, yes, I'm doing that one. So we're going to have a look at this. For those of you who've not looked at my Sudoku tier list, Renbon and black dots are two of the very short list of constraints that I considered to be on the upper echelon of constraints. So I am very excited for this. Okay. So if you've not seen this before, black dots mean there's a ratio of 2 to 1 between the things. So it could be like a 3 and a 6. One is double the other. Renbon are a string of consecutive digits, but they could come in any order. So for example, it could be a 4, a 2, and a 3, like that. And white dots just mean it's a pair of consecutive digits. So it could be a 5 and a 6, for example. Okay. So now the thing I know in this box is I know that one of these Renbon has a 6 on it, and one of them has a 1 on it. The one with a 6 must be 4, 5, 6, and the one with a 1 must be 1, 2, 3. And therefore this pair is definitely 3, 4. Because that's the only way that I can connect these. And therefore this is either a 3 with a 6 or it's a 4 with a 2. And those both have opposite high-lowities, so it works. Now, these two digits, I know in this box, because digits can't repeat on a Renbon, I know they go there. For whatever that is worth. Right. Okay, so Garion is looking at where these 3, 4 go in this box, and noting that the 3, 4 can't go on the black dot, because 3 and 4 don't have a ratio of 2 to 1, so therefore this cell is always a 3 or a 4. That is a very nice spot. Let's see. Tristan has worked out that this always has to be a 1 or a 5. I believe. So let's see. So the two universes are that this is a 3, 2, 1, or this is a 4, 5, 6. So I agree. This is always a 1 or a 5. Very nice. Yeah, these two thingy each other for whatever it's worth. Is the question whether this can be a... Well, no, sorry. Oh, never mind. I was going to ask if the question was whether this could be a 3-4 pair or not, but spoiler, it cannot be a 3-4 pair. So, this can't be 1, 2. Because if this is 1, 2, I need to put 1 and 2 down here. So this is either 2, 4, or it is 3, 6. Which means that, in fact, we have a quadruple in this row, and in fact, this cell's also a 1 or a 5. And so this cell's also a 2 or a 6. Same logic down there. But now I can ask, hey, where do the 1-5s go in this row? And I can play the same trick from before. Well, they can't both go here, and therefore one of the 1-5s definitely goes there. In that box. Interestingly, this 1-5... Oh, maybe this could be 1, 2... let's see. FGM has a point in box 6. I need a 3 or a 4 on this Renbon. That's a very good spot. So this Renbon is length 3, so it needs a 3 or a 4, because if I don't use a 3 or a 4, the only digits I have left are 1, 2, and 5, 6, and I can't make a string of 3 consecutive digits out of 1, 2, and 5, 6. So therefore, this cell is never a 3 or a 4. Because if it were a 3 or a 4, that would be a 3-4 pair, and there would not be one left to put here. But now that this is a 2-6, when I look over to this only connects to the 3-4. I guess I could have also said it as, this is the 3-4 that this line needs. Now, it only has one 3-4, interestingly. So that means that these are either exactly 1-2 or exactly 5-6. Those are the only options for these two cells. And so if they're 1-2, it goes in that order. And if they're 5-6, it goes in that order. So I am getting these various options all over the place. Let's see. I'm checking to see if it works if this is a 3. Because if this is a 3, it goes 3, 6, 3, 6. And I don't think that works. Okay, so if this is a 3, it goes 3, 6, 3, 6. This is a 3, and that's a 4. That's a 6, 5, 4. Okay, maybe that does work. Never mind. I think this could be a 2 in that universe. So we will keep that in mind. So one of these 1-5s is a 1, whatever that is worth. It's interesting having these written out in a different way. Sort of weird. Okay. Oh, Tristan's claim is this can't be a 1, I think. Yeah, I was sort of thinking about doing the, like, high-low coloring on these. Because I know, actually... Okay, let's do that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my green for now. I'm going to make this yellow, and this orange, and this yellow. So these are all orange. And so therefore the point is this is the 3-4 from orange, so that 3-4 goes there. This is the so these two are the same digit. I guess I don't even really need to circle it because they're the bi-values, they're the same digit. So those two are the same digit, these two are the same digit, and so on. Oh, I actually don't know how these two map up to those two, is interesting. So the question is, can this be wholly orange? Maybe. This can't be wholly yellow. For whatever it's worth. See, Andrew says I can't put a 1 on here. It would be a 1, 2. That would break something down here. I don't know if that's relevant yet. Let's see. So if orange is really high, I realize orange was a poor choice because I sort of am pre-inclined to think of orange as high. But if orange is high, this digit's also high. So the question is, can there be a 3-4 in here? And I think Tristan's arguing there has to be a yellow 3-4 in here. Because if there's not a yellow 3-4 in here, then something is wonky. Okay. Garion has an excellent spot. Where does yellow 1-6 go in this box? Not in the column with yellow 1-6. If yellow 1-6 goes on this Renbon, it needs to go with yellow 2-5 and yellow 3-4, but it can't. So yellow 1-6 not here. And if I put a yellow 1-6 here, well, yellow 1-6 is 4 away from orange 3-4. Which I realize sounds like garbly-gook if you have not been sort of fully immersed in the Zeta nonsense of all of this. But This is definitely yellow 1-6. Okay, so... So now, this Renbon... So it needs to have an orange on it. And if it needs to have an orange on it, that means... I mean, I guess it just has an orange 3-4 on it by Sudoku now. So there's an orange 3-4 on here. What can I do with the fact that this thing has an orange 3-4? I'm not sure. Can this be all orange? Do I know that this can't all be orange? As in, do I know there has to be a yellow 3-4? So if this is all orange, what happens? If this is all orange, then I've got... I think Tristan's going to tell me that breaks the black dots if I look at it right. Because if this can't be all orange, it needs a yellow 3-4, and the yellow 3-4 would have to go there. Which is interesting. Let's see, lots of deletions in chat all of a sudden. Okay, let's see. If row 4, column 5 is a yellow 3-4, 1 would place something. See, Tristan says 1 cannot go in row 4, column 5. So it is true. The orange 1-6 is on one of these Renbons. So one of these is orange. One of these is monolithically orange. In order to make this work. So it's either these are both orange, or these 3 are all orange, is the possibilities. I don't even know what cell people are talking about being 1. People keep saying something can't be 1, but I don't even know what people are talking about. Can't this black dot just be basically anything? So this could be 1 or 4 or 3 by black dot magic. And so the claim is it can't be 1. So if it's 1, it makes both of those a 2. Row 4, column 4, and 6. Right, okay, got it, right. So if this is a 1, wow, that's clever. Okay, if this is a 1, this is a 2 by black dot, but this is a 2 because the Renbon needs a 2. So this isn't a 1, so it's a 3-4, but then the point from chat is, because there's already an orange 3-4 on the Renbon, this is a yellow 3-4. And so now orange 1-6 is not on this Renbon. So orange 1-6 is on this Renbon. So this Renbon is all orange, and this is the yellow 2-3. Sorry, this is the yellow 2-5. Okay. So we've got that. Now, I will confess that's the way I was hoping it didn't work. I don't think I know if this is I don't think I know this is a 2-6, do I? Oh, no, I do know it's a 2-6, because it's a 6x6. Right, okay. This is a 2-6, so I do know that's an orange 2-6. One of these two is an orange 2-6. I was thinking that 4 could go next to 8. This was not orange 2, Garion, because orange 1-6 needed to go in this box, and no matter where orange 1-6 went in this box, it was on this Renbon, which then made this whole Renbon orange, which then left the only place for which then sucked up all the oranges, which is why this couldn't be orange. Okay. Orange 2-6 now can only go in 2 places on this Renbon. Can I do that with other things? Like yellow 3-4 isn't in any of those. I don't quite know. Let's see. People think row 2, column 5 should be orange. The only way this would not be orange... Right. The only thing that orange can connect to in yellow is yellow 3-4, but there's already a yellow 3-4 in the column. So this can't be yellow, because the only way you can transition between yellow and orange is through 3 and 4. So this cell is definitely orange, which means this cell is definitely yellow, and in fact it's the yellow 2-5. So yellow 2-5 on this thing, I guess, still has a lot of options, annoyingly. Orange 2-6 has only one spot on the long Renbon. Are you sure it's not 2? Why can't it be in either of those? Okay. Let us... Oh, do I have... yes. Okay, sorry, that looks up. Okay, so this is orange 2-6. Okay, yes. So the thing I did not see is I didn't see this orange 2-6 looking up and over. So yeah, this is orange 2-6, which means both of these are yellow, which is good. And okay, so all of these are orange, which is good. Can't row 3, column 5 be orange and transition to yellow? It would transition to the yellow 3-4, and the yellow 3-4 is here, I think, Jonathan. Is my understanding of what is happening. So this dot needs to be a 4 or 6 with a 2-3. So this is from 4, 6 to 3. Is it the same as that black dot, I guess is the question. I'm not sure yet. But I do know, because these two cells are these two cells, I know that one of these two cells is orange, which is the last orange for this row, which makes both of these yellow. And now that's the last orange for this the last yellow for this column, so that makes this orange. This is a 3-4. This is a very cool puzzle. I like this a lot. I think the thing Chad has been trying to get me to see for a long time is that if orange is 2, this is obviously broken. Which I did not see for a long time. If orange is 2, these are a 1-3 pair. So orange is not 2, so orange is 6. We've got, that is a 6. That's a 1 and a 5, and a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. That's a 3. That's a 3 and a 2. That's a 2 and a 1 and a 3. That's a 4, a 6, and a 5. That's a 4 and a 2. Okay, so that did a lot. So this is a 3 as well. These are a 4-5 pair, and these are also a 4-5 pair. That's a 6. So that's a 5 because it sees both. That's a 2 because it's been a 2 the whole time because it's yellow. This is the 6. So this is yellow because it's not the 4, the 5, or the 6 is the point. And so now where is the other orange in the column? It's here. So that's a 5. That's a yellow. These are a 2-4 pair, and I know which is the 2. Because again, these two cells have to be these two cells. So these are a 2-4 pair, and that's the orange, and that's the yellow. So that's orange, and that's yellow. And again, the yellow of these is a 2, and the orange of them is a 4. So that makes this 5-4-5. Makes that the 1. Makes that the 5. Not the 5? Makes that the 1. Try again. Makes that the 4. Makes that the 3. And makes that the 1. Very nice. Sweet puzzle there. I feel like this is the one deduction I should have seen faster, because this was a gorgeous deduction. The fact that... let me just rewind just to show you the moment that I thought was really cool that I should have seen much, much, much faster, but then I did not. So the coolest moment in the puzzle is when the grid looks like this. And in fact, actually, you could go all the way back to when the grid looked like that. The second I had this, the point is, if this digit is 2, that means orange is low, and these are a 1-3 pair. So instantly at this point, this becomes 6. And then presumably everything falls apart. But we did more coloring than that before we figured that out. But that was a very cool setup. Very nicely done, MicroStudy. And that was a very cool puzzle. I liked that a lot. Alrighty, but we should probably wrap up stream there for today, because I think I am slowly demonstrating that my brain is not going to do well if I try and do another puzzle here. So I'm going to wrap up there for today, but thank you for joining me, everyone. It has been a great day for puzzles. I think all of these puzzles are going to be very memorable if you flip back through the puzzles that we did. A lot of super cool stuff in there. Yeah, great stuff today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you also had a lot of fun. And I will see you all. My next stream, I believe I'm going to stream with Tristan on Friday. Oh yes, please like the stream if you have not yet done so. It is greatly appreciated, and it helps people find the stream. Thank you, everyone. So I will see you all on Friday is the plan. Thank you so much to the patrons. If you do want to support the channel, the easiest way to do that is by clicking the join button down below. There are other ways if you'd rather do Patreon or Ko-fi or whatever. Let us know. There are other ways. But the easiest way in terms of minimal clickage is to just click the join button down below. And that'll click you through being a YouTube member. And that gets you sort of the most stuff. Because it gets you the Zach emotes, which Zach loves to see. But anyway, gets you access to the zetamath exclusive Discord, and other stuff of that sort. At appropriate levels, you can do things like vote on what puzzle we do next, which apologies to those of you with bucket privileges. We have not done bucket puzzles in a while. I promise we will soon be out from under this mountain of puzzles that people have made, which have all been awesome, by the way. These birthday puzzles for me, birthday puzzles for Tristan, Fog of War puzzles, 2,000 subscriber celebration puzzles. So, you know, it's all coming. It's all coming. But then we'll get back to bucket puzzles soon. So anyway, so if you contribute at an appropriate level, you can do that. Anyway, I'd also like to give a special thanks to those people who contribute at the top level. So David Ratner, Michael O'Connor, Nordy, Franco, Woofer, Andreas, DDX, and Logan Wall. Thank you so much for being awesome. Thank you for helping me even when my brain is incredibly slow like today to make it through these puzzles. And I will see you all very soon. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.